Before the achievements, before the celebrations, there's the work. Early mornings, late nights. Every challenge faced, every extra effort made.
Every victory starts with preparation.
We value leadership, resilience, and innovation. No victory without work. Because success isn't given, it's earned. Welcome to Adrian College.
Bulldog fans, remember to follow Adrian College TV on social media. For game highlights and campus events, you can catch it all on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and X at Adrian College TV. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel to catch all our future streams live and support your Bulldogs.
Continue to take pride and learn from Asa Mahan's leadership today. Years of commitment to harnessing the power of creativity, ingenuity, community, and academic excellence.
I believe that if you get your degree, the world is going to feel like it's shrinking.
Welcome inside the Marilat Sport and Fitness Center for tonight's MIAA clash between the Adrian College Bulldogs, who will play host to the Kalamazoo College Hornets. Good evening, everyone. I'm Remington Gilniak, joined alongside my good friend and partner, Nathan Linder. And Nate, we should be in store for a good one today.
Yeah, Remy, when you look at the numbers, both teams are searching for consistency. Adrian comes in at 8-13 overall and 4-9 in MIAA play, averaging about 62 points per game on 38% shooting. Kalamazoo is 6-15 and 5-7 in conference play, scoring closer to 50 points tonight, but they rebound the ball extremely well at 41 boards per game. And in the standings, this is a big one. Adrian is a game and a half behind Kalamazoo, so this one feels like a must-win for the Bulldogs if they want to stay in the tournament picture.
Yeah, of course, these two teams met earlier this season, a little over a month ago on January 7th, and to say the least, it was, in fact, a good one.
Yeah, the first meeting had everything, back and forth all night, and ended in overtime with Kalamazoo sneaking out a 66-65 win. Adrian struggled from the floor early and it really paid for it at the free throw line, going just 13 for 21. Morgan Babb still poured in 18 points, and Hannah Lish hit 3 triples, but Kalamazoo survived despite shooting just 2 for 15 from deep because they went 10 for 12 at the stripe and completely controlled the glass, winning the rebounding battle 44-31. Lauren Vanderstel and Ruby Hogan basically never left the floor and combined for 41 points.
Yeah, so with the context of that last matchup in mind, let's take a quick look at the keys to the game for both sides tonight. We'll start off with Adrian, and for me, it's all about them taking what's given to them. As we mentioned before, it was a back-and-forth game throughout, and the difference was the little things. For example, the Dogs shot just 13 for 21 from the charity stripe, and certainly could have used a couple more free points in that one. So cleaning up those mistakes like those free throws and the 18 turnovers they committed should lead to a more well-rounded game and set them up for success today.
Yeah, I know they're playing at home here tonight, so I think a little home crowd advantage. There's the blackout, so it's not a very common sight we see with the black jerseys at home for Adrian College. So they're playing for something a little more today. They know this game is crucial for their MIAA tournament chances, and they're really going to come out and keep on firing.
Yeah, so team narratives aside, who are a couple players we should be looking at tonight, Nate?
Well, we'll start off for the visitors in Kalamazoo side. The name is Lauren Vanderstelt. She's been a Bulldog problem for a while now, averaging a double-double against Adrian last season and anchoring the paint for the Hornets. She dominated the glass in that last matchup, and with Kalamazoo not being a three-point shooting team, her ability to control the boards and score inside is going to be key to keeping them in control of this game.
Yeah, so that's for Kalamazoo. What about for the home team? What about Adrian tonight?
Yeah, for Adrian, it's got to be Morgan Babb. She has absolutely torched Kalamazoo in the past. Last season, she averaged 23 points and 15 rebounds against the Hornets. Even in that earlier meeting this year, she went for 18 points while fighting through a tough shooting night. If Adrian is going to flip the script tonight, it usually starts with Babb being aggressive and getting to the rim, especially after they left points at the free throw line last time.
Yeah, so as we get set for tip-off here inside the Maryland, we know what both teams need to do to come out on top, what players need to do to be difference makers tonight. The only question, will it happen? Stay with us. Tip-off is coming up next. Adrian and Kalamazoo coming up on ACTV right after this.
Adrian College is shaping the future of higher education and leading the way in innovation and excellence. Ranked first in most innovative schools and second in best value in undergraduate teaching in the Midwest by U.S. News and World Report, Adrian College is recognized for its commitment to innovation, quality education, and affordability. Offering 71 undergraduate programs, 13 graduate programs, and a 1-to-15 faculty-to-student ratio, our students receive personalized attention and a cutting-edge education. With state-of-the-art facilities, 10 academic institutes, and 50 competitive sports teams, Adrian fosters growth both inside and outside the classroom. From small class sizes to championship-level athletics, we provide the tools and experiences you need to succeed. Join a community that prioritizes your success. Start your journey with us, where your potential is realized. Discover Adrian College.
I'm a special ed social worker.
And I'm a third-year public affairs major.
I'm an action filmmaker.
I'm a recent graduate from Michigan State University.
I'm an underwater cinematographer.
So I didn't really decide I wanted to become a pilot till after college.
Jevi is like a consolidated platform where I can have focused information in a couple swipes.
Involve yourself as many opportunities that you can.
The number one most important thing is knowing your own weaknesses.
Proper planning.
Breakfast.
It's always something different, something new.
The fact that you can be another small voice that adds to a beautiful space. That's what I'm here for.
If there was one word I was going to use to describe the communication arts program at Adrian College, it would be unique. Students find themselves on the radio, in front of and behind the camera, and directing their own programs. Students learn in a personalized environment that sets them up for a world of opportunities. Are you ready for your moment in the limelight? Learn more about the Rush Communications Center and Adrian College's communications program by visiting adrian.edu today.
Welcome back inside the Maryland Sport and Fitness Center as we inch closer and closer to tip-off. But before that, let's take a look at the key team stats going into this one.
Yeah, so these averages for the game, like we said earlier, average of scores of 50 and 63. Field goal percentage is slightly lower than I'd like to see it, and the three-point percentage is also going to be a big one in tonight's factor. Those turnovers numbers fairly high. Kalamazoo, unfortunately, leading that category 20-16. But then the rebounds, Kalamazoo does actually lead that category with 41 per game, and Adrian only 35.
Yeah, this is a team, talking about Kalamazoo, that isn't the most traditional team you're going to find. 6-15 on the year, but 5-7 in conference play, so they're clearly doing something right.
Yeah, it's kind of seemed to me that they had a pretty tough non-conference schedule. I looked at their record, and I was like, wow, It's pretty bad. They started 1-11, and then they kind of came back and found their rhythm in MIAA play. One of the few teams that can actually out-rebound the Bulldogs, but they really cannot shoot the outside shots. Looking for they're going to look really good to make the MIAA tournament with a win here today. They're currently tied for 5th with Alma, and they play the Scots that last game of the season, so it's really all going to come down to that one.
Yeah, so we have a lot at stake in this game today, and well, we mentioned a couple key contributors at the top of the broadcast, but looking at a couple others. Now, we mentioned Vanderstelt for Kalamazoo, but how about Ruby Hogan? Enters play today and tied for 6th in the conference in points per game, 7th in rebounds, and she lines up pretty close to Aubrey Ix on the Bulldog side of things. Ix also, she's the player she's tied with for 6th in scoring, 12.5 points, 8th in rebounds at 6.8. So we have a few key matchups that we're going to be watching throughout this one. And how about that Bulldog bench right now, jumping up and down?
Oh, yeah, the energy is electric here on here tonight game. The blackout, it's really strength on strength for these two teams. They have the big presence down low for the Hornets, and it's what for the Bulldogs, their forwards are key.
Yeah, so for the Bulldogs, same starting lineup that we're used to seeing from them. Take a look at Kalamazoo. It's going to be Sophia Moore, Samaze Robertson, Ruby Hogan, Lauren Vanderstelt, and Taylor Dinda for their starting 5. So off the jump, it's going to be Vanderstelt versus Ix. Early test of this matchup. And off the tip, we are underway inside the Maryland Sport and Fitness Center. It is the Hornets that come away with it. Oh, Hogan spins, goes up with the right hand. Pretty layup right away.
Well, how about that? Just going right at Darby Leinerth down low. Easy bucket.
Yeah, Leinerth, the player out there for her defense, but certainly did not show it there. So it's Ix, has it on the wing, works against Vanderstelt, drives in, goes up with the right hand, and she's got a bucket of her own.
Right back at you, Aubrey Ix getting inside across the paint. Nice easy layup off the glass.
So ends up back with Hogan. Now up top, that's Moore. Now to Vanderstelt. Not a lot of movement from this Hope offense. Finally, they start to swing it around a little bit. In the corner, that's Robertson, guarded by Leinerth. Moves it over the wing. Almost taken away by Lish, but remains with the Hornets. Corner 3, Vanderstelt, nylon.
Oh, Vanderstelt getting involved early. Not a great three-point shooter is Vanderstelt. About 23% on the year.
So Lish, the commander of the offense, brings it up. Kicks it over to Babb, now to Ix. Leinerth on the wing, uses Ix's screen. Nothing doing. They're going to slow things down to Schultz. Now to Babb. Resetting with Lish from the wing. Uses screen from Babb. Drives in, nothing doing. Shot clock winds down. Lish pivots, goes up with the short one. Shot clock didn't reset, so Leinerth has to chuck something up. But it airballed. It will be Kazoo going the other way. Hogan working against Lish. Now to Vanderstelt. Kicks it to Robertson. Now to Dinda on the wing, guarded by Schultz. Over to Hogan. Hogan surveying the court. She'll kick to the corner. Here's Moore with the corner 3, and this one's good as well.
Back-to-back triples. Kalamazoo coming out firing in this one. I don't think they missed a shot yet.
Yeah, they're throwing the stats we put on the screen out the window. 3 for 3 from the field so far. This pass going to be taken away by Sophia Moore. Gets the 3 and comes back with a steal and a bucket.
We'll see if Coach Sam Miller decides to take an early timeout to stop the bleeding early on.
Yeah, I'd have to imagine these players on a short leash right now can't let this game get too big of a deficit early on. Just kills all momentum. As Babb will try to go baseline. Reverse scoop with the right hand, up and in for 2.
Good play there for Babb to get the Bulldogs back on track.
So Robertson brings it up, kicks it over to Hogan. Now back to Moore on the wing. Bulldog defense looking for some answers on this possession. 3 straight buckets for Kazoo. Hogan back to Robertson now. They'll try to run some with Vandersloot outside. The kick out to Moore, beats Leinerth, dumps it down low. Hogan triple teamed. Ix has some hands on it and strips it away. Nothing doing in transition. Bulldogs going to slow it up as Babb has it. Working against Vandersloot. Posts up, goes up with the right hand, but is swatted away. Rebounded by Moore. Pushes the tempo up to Hogan, who drives in against Lish. Good hands by Lish, poking it away momentarily. But Vanderstelt going to take another 3. This one good as well. That's going to force an early timeout from Sam Miller. 13-4, your score in favor of the Hornets. We've played just about 3.5 minutes. We're going to step outside for just a second. You're watching women's basketball here on Adrian College TV.
To become a future Bulldog and get recruited by Adrian College? Do you display characteristics of tenacity, drive, and determination? With over 50 teams on campus, there are plenty of opportunities to further both your athletic and academic career. For all recruiting inquiries, head to www.adrianbulldogs.com and click on the Recruit Me tab at the top right of your screen. Your future with the Bulldogs is closer than ever.
Welcome back inside the Maryland Sport and Fitness Center. As you see that Hornet huddle, and, well, something's clicking on the offensive end for them.
Yeah, they're 5 for 5 from the field to start the game here. They haven't missed a shot yet, and it's really been attacking the Bulldogs' defense. Obviously, they had that quick bucket off of the bat, and then Bulldogs are starting off in a zone here. Looks like maybe a 2-3 kind of zone, which they have played a lot of zone early on in the season now. But then there was another matchup where they were going man, and just a couple of three three-pointers. And, you know, Kalamazoo, last game, they played them. They weren't shooting very well, but they're probably thinking to themselves, if we can still shoot that bad and still win, what's going to happen if we can make some shots?
Yeah, this team coming in 20.9% from three this season. So certainly an outlier start for them. We'll see if they can keep it up. But for now, it's going to be the Bulldogs who are tasked with erasing a 9-point deficit just a few minutes into this game. Now the Hornets will bring full court pressure. It's Ruby Hogan working against Lish. Lish trying to find some space. He'll swing it over to Schultz. It's the same starting five out for both sides. So Babb drives in from the wing. The double comes, goes up anyways, and it's blocked again, that time by Sophia Moore. Ends up back with her, going the other way. Now to Hogan. She'll pull the three. Off the iron, won't go, but an offensive rebound. That was Hogan who got the rebound. It was Dinda on the miss. It's Robertson outside. They give it to Vanderstelt down low, works against Ix. Ix shuts it down immediately. Back to Robertson. Shot clock at 6, goes up with the right hand, high off the glass, but gets it in for 2.
Long possession there for the Hornets. They wore it down, got the switch they wanted, and just the speed there of Robertson.
A lot of physical defense early on by these Hornets, not allowing the Bulldogs to get into their sets. See if anything changes as more physicality. This time they're going to blow the whistle on the floor against Ruby Hogan.
Yeah, it's not a bad foul. They like to provide a lot of pressure defense on the perimeter. We know that's where the Bulldogs struggle a little bit. They like to get it inside, but if they can't really do that, it can be difficult to get anything going offensively.
Yeah, a couple subs coming in for the Bulldogs, both at the guard position. It's McElroy and Moorhead checking in here, trying to go for a little bit of a smaller lineup.
Yeah, exactly. Look to get it inside for Ix, have her post up.
So McElroy outside works against Robertson. Swings it over to Lish, drives in, left hand, won't go. Rebounded by Vanderstelt. Robertson pushing it up the floor, but it's poked away by Moorhead. Bulldog basketball.
Yeah, just off of her knee there, and Robertson on the take-in side. Let's see if they want to review it.
It's head coach Ryan Clark, very vocal over on the Hornet bench, trying to get these referees to take a look at it, and I think they're going to give him his way.
We're going to go to the monitor for this one. We'll see if we get a replay of up here. We got a dual broadcast, simulcast with BCSN running all the cameras and operations and whatnot. Just Remy and I on the mics.
So it doesn't look like we're going to have a look at it, so we're going to step aside for just a minute. You're watching women's basketball here on Adrian College TV.
Before the achievements, before the celebrations, there's the work. Early mornings, late nights. Every challenge faced, every extra effort made.
Every victory starts with preparation.
We value leadership, resilience, and innovation. No victory without work. Because success isn't given, it's earned. Welcome to Adrian College.
Welcome back inside the Maryland Sport and Fitness Center. 15-4 your score in favor of the Hornets. Under 5 minutes in. Before we went to break, there was a play. The ball went out of bounds. The officials said it went off of Robertson on the floor. But Ryan Clark, head coach of the Hornets, was quick off the bench, pleading for the officials to take another look at it, and they've been doing that ever since. Now again, that play on the far end of the court from our angle, so we certainly do not have the best look over here. It was the Bulldog bench who technically has the best look at it.
Yeah, so the camera angle that the refs are going to look at will be that huddle cam that's on the opposite side of the court. And they have access to that. They can use that, see if they can get a better angle. From my point of view, it seemed like they called it correct and how the ball bounced off of the knee. But it was right there, so close. I couldn't tell if she lost it and then hit her knee or lost it, hit off a knee, and then the Bulldogs' hand and went out of bounds.
Yeah, normally when you have a coach who gets a challenge off, you see the players instantly after the play. They're, asking the coach to ask the referees to take another look at it, but we didn't necessarily see it.
Yeah, honestly, this is taking a little long here for my disliking, considering we're not even 5 minutes into the game and we're going to have this long of a review.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, though, if you're the Bulldogs, you'll honestly take it. It's been just a dreadful and nightmare-like start for them. Sure, they didn't think they'd be down by 9, less than 5 minutes into this game. Just nothing on the offensive end clicking for them. Just 2 for 7 from the field. Only 1 rebound collected in this game so far.
Yeah, pretty scarce across the stat sheet there. Only Babb and Ix have 2 points each. And Leinerth with the rebound and Ix with a steal. Other than that, pretty empty. But for Kalamazoo, they still got their same 5 starters in. Moore is 2 for 2 from the field, and Vanderstelt 2 for 2, both of them being 3-pointers. Moore also has 3 rebounds to go along with it, and we have a decision.
And judging by the reaction of the Bulldogs, it is going to be their basketball as they will attempt to start to dig into this deficit. And Nate, how important is it for the Bulldogs to not get down too much early on?
Well, it's huge for them. They can't really play from behind. They gotta have it close. And if coming off of that media break, they almost get a second timeout of what they have, and we're almost going to get another media timeout after the 5-minute mark. So the Bulldogs have had plenty of time to catch their breath and really talk about what they want to do here.
Sliss drives in, goes up with the right hand, rattles around but won't go. Another rebound by Vanderstelt. Robertson will push it up the floor, guarded by McElroy, swings to Moore in the corner. Back to Vanderstelt, now Hogan on the wing, guarded by Moorhead. Bulldogs in a man-to-man set here. Hogan uses the screen from Vanderstelt, pull-up Jay just behind the free throw line and buries it.
Oh, that's just a bread and butter right there. Good screen. Moorhead couldn't fight to get through, and a nice, easy 20-footer.
Yeah, it wasn't like it was a hard screen from Vanderstelt. Hogan just did a good job maneuvering through and found a lot of space in an area where there typically isn't some. This one's going to be poked away by Dinda. Robertson pushing up the floor. Nice crossover, but loses it on the back end. A lot of contact down low. Foul on the floor. This one will go against Hannah Lish.
Yeah, Lish, a little errant pass there. Tried to go inside for Schultz. And the defender who is guarding McElroy dives in to help, gets the steal.
So we'll see Sophia Bussell check in favor of McElroy. Same 5 still as no. We have Josie Cook checked in for the Hornets. So it's Hogan outside, dishes to Robertson. Bulldogs back in the zone, and a miscommunication as Hogan's left wide open in the paint, and she puts it in for 2.
That's just a mental mistake there. I don't know how you can leave someone open by the baseline in a zone.
Especially not a player like Hogan, leading scorer on the team, just left a wide open in the paint. Bulldogs will try to respond. It's Moorhead driving in against Robertson, goes up with the left hand and puts it in.
They'll just keep putting up shots. One of them's bound to go in.
Now we've seen that from her throughout the season, these kind of wild layup attempts, and they seem to work out for her. As Hogan on the drive, she's tied up down low, gets it away to Robertson, who will drive in, puts on the brakes, kick outside. Here's Cook with the 3, too strong off the back iron, rebounded by Moorhead. Now these Hornets brought all their defenders back, not chase the rebound. Moorhead will take the 3, and she'll bury it.
A little bit of a pause, decided what to do, said, hey, I'm open, why not just shoot it?
Now Moorhead not known for her 3-point shooting as she had some contact there, nothing called. Hogan on the wing, Bussell with the closeout, and it's taken away. I believe it was Lish. As Bussell lost her dribble, has to call for some help to bring it up. There's Ryan Clark is furious at the official on the bench. Student section here asking for him to be teed up.
Yeah, bench warning, it looks like. Upset about the foul call that wasn't called when Ruby Hogan tried to drive in. I didn't see much, but kind of hard to see a tap on the wrist from this far away.
Yeah, I mean, he has a case. Definitely some contact on the play. The Bulldogs might have caught a break there. They trail by 10. About 3 minutes left in the corner. We'll see Schultz take a three from the wing. Way too strong. Misses badly, but a chance for her own miss off the three, and she does so. As Leinerth has it. Now Babb will take a three from the wing. This one rattles around, but rebounded momentarily by Bustle. But they're going to say it's poked away off of Michaela Allen.
Yeah, Babb took a three in the right wing in rhythm. Just a little short.
The Bulldogs certainly not scared to take the threes early on, nor are the Hornets. Officials have a word about something, but looks like we're all cleared up. So Schultz on the inbound. Long pass over to Lish. She's guarded by Hogan. Swings it over to Bustle up top. Now to Schultz. Babb in the corner. Tries to work against Cook. Shot clock winding down. 3 seconds left. She'll put it up. Won't go. Rebounded down low by Wilkes, and there's foul on the floor against Leinerth.
Yeah, just a bad foul there from Leinerth. 90 feet away from the basket. You get the rebound in front of her, and she still has got her hand in the cookie jar. Just got to pull away at that point.
Again, we've seen Kalamazoo really push the tempo in transition. Bulldogs maybe trying to be a little aggressive, get into a passing lane, force a mistake. So trail by 10, 2.5 to play here in the first. On the wing, it's Allen. Swings it over to Hogan. Now to Vanderstelt. Mismatch against Bustle. Lish swishes on. Now Leinerth guarding on the wing. Here's Vanderstelt. Shot clock winds down. Did she get that off? No, she did not. Are they saying she got that off?
I don't know, but the ref called a foul, and if he didn't get it off, I don't think the foul should count.
Sam Miller trying to plead his case on the sideline. Now the shot clock should have winded down. See Angela Sikora trying to calm Sam Miller down. The officials still having a word. Just a weird start on the officiating side of things so far.
Yeah, clock was nearing the end. Couldn't tell what it was at when the shot went up. And Remy, looking at your face, don't see much of a foul there?
I didn't really see what the men and women in the black and gray shirts saw. Are they going to keep Lauren Vanderstelt on the line?
They are.
Wow. So first shot from Vanderstelt is drilled in. That's their 20th point of the game and of this first quarter. So second shot from Vanderstelt will roll around but won't go. Rebounded by Schultz. Bulldogs will try to cut into this deficit now. They need a spark on the offensive end. Thought they had it with Moorhead for a minute, but that went away pretty quick. Now it's Lish, who's been out for the entire quarter against Hogan. Now to Bustle. Also puts on the brakes, swings over to Leinerth. Leinerth calling for a screen. Doesn't use it. Spins around, now trapped. Dish to Babb down low. Shot clock winding down, working against Cooks. Turnaway Jay won't go. But an errant pass ends up right in the hands of Morgan Babb. Bulldogs with a 2-on-2, but she has it taken away by Hogan. Now ends up in the hands of Wilkes going the other way. Wilkes wide open from three. She'll take it, and she'll bury it.
You can't leave shooters open, man. I mean, Wilkes just drills it.
Yeah, I don't care what the numbers say. This team is not good at shooting threes. But if you're playing college basketball, it's for a reason. You just can't leave shooters that wide open. So Babb has it. She'll take the mid-range jumper, and she'll bury it.
Yeah, nice shot there. Set herself up. Had the space. Knocked it down.
The Bulldogs need to find a way to kill the momentum. Here's Hogan on the wing. Swings it back to Vanderstelt. Now to Wilkes. Leaving her a lot of space still. Bulldogs still in the zone. Ends up with Cook down low, and it's taken away by Lish. Heading the other way. Doesn't have the numbers. She'll slow things up. Swings it over to Bustle. Bustle drives in. She'll go up with the right hand. She'll be going to the free throw line.
That's a good drive there from Bustle. Saw the open lane and attacked the defender. That's what a couple times I've seen Morgan Babb drive in. She kind of just brushes up against the offender and then doesn't go into her. But Bustle there initiates the contact, creates a little separation, and then it goes up. It's the foul called.
A nifty play by the freshman guard. We've spoken about her a few times on our broadcast, and well, as the year goes on, those minutes have only gone up. First shot from her is good. One of the better shooters you're going to find in the MIAA as a whole. Finally getting the run that, well, she certainly feels she deserves. She's taken advantage of it. Second shot off the back iron won't go. Rebounded by Cook. Going the other way, and it's poked away by Moorhead. She goes up on the other end, but too strong off the glass. We've seen a lot of turnovers here. See Hogan driving in against Schultz. A lot of contact on the way up, and Hogan will head in the line for two.
Yeah, just didn't move their feet there, down low from Schultz. Thought they could have called a foul initially. When Hogan drived in, kind of Schultz pushes the hands against the ball right there and then slaps at it. Pretty easy call.
Yeah, just too much contact there. You know what Schultz is trying to do. Just didn't quite have the angle.
Well, shot clock turned off here, 22 seconds. We'll see if the Bulldogs can get the rebound off of this one and go down and get a nice score. And head in the end of the first quarter within single digits.
Yeah, just try to get some semblance of momentum. It's, again, been a nightmare-like start for these Bulldogs. And a game that, if you just looked at the stats on paper, they would probably be the favorite to win. But the Hornets say not so fast. They got off to a hot start. They've slowed down a little bit. This Bulldog offense just has not taken off yet. So we'll get one last crack at it here in the first. It's Moorhead bringing it up. A lot of pressure by Hogan. Very active hands and feet. Moorhead slow things up. 10 seconds left. Kick down low to Ix. Ix working against Colt. Cook steps through, goes up with the left hand, and goes in for two.
Good post move there from Ix. Bulldogs going to need more of that.
So the half-court heave from Wilkes will not go. So that is all we have in store for first quarter basketball. It's the Hornets who lead the Bulldogs 24-14. We've played 10 minutes here in the Maryland Sport and Fitness Center. You're watching women's basketball here on Adrian College TV.
The Adrian College Media Production House provides opportunities for students to learn and grow live on the airwaves, just like Matt Kibbe.
I've gotten a chance to create a relationship with coaches and teams and learn more from people instead of trying to teach myself something. Gotten an opportunity to expand my knowledge of sports, hone in on my skills as a broadcaster, and learn about equipment in different ways. You get more of a connection with professors as well.
Providing opportunities, growing leadership. The Adrian College Media Production House. Thanks for tuning in.
Stay connected with all the action by following at Adrian College TV on social media. From game highlights to campus events, we have got you covered. Don't miss a moment. Follow at Adrian College TV today. So at the end of the first quarter, it's the Kalamazoo College Hornets who lead at 24-14. And what an efficient start from this offense. 9 for 11 from the field. 4 for 6 from beyond the arc, and 2 for 4 from the line.
Yeah, wow. Those numbers are insane. Talk about efficiency, like you said. And the 4 3-pointers, that's especially huge going into the second quarter here. If they can keep that momentum rolling, might be night-night.
Yeah, this is a Kalamazoo team who has not made double-digit three-pointers in a game all season. They're certainly on pace to do that here. So it's Ix driving in against Vanderstel, goes up with the right hand. No foul called. Bab gets the offensive rebound. Moorhead now, she'll take a turn at it. Goes up, won't go. Rebounded by Vanderstilt. It'll be Hogan going the other way. Swings it over to Moore. Now to Robertson, back to Hogan. A lot of space up top. She'll pull it, too strong off the back iron. It's going to be deflected out of bounds off of Sophia Moore. Bulldog basketball.
Yeah, not a bad look there from Hogan. Top of the key, one of the easier three-pointers to make. Bulldogs here within 10. See if they can start clawing back.
Now, if you're the Bulldogs, if you go into halftime, even cutting this deficit in half, you got to be feeling pretty good. Just after a terrible start, a chance to start to get back into this game. Lish has it on the wing. Over to Babb. They'll try it again with Ix down low. She'll go up and put it in for two.
No dribble necessary. Just catch, spin, and put it in.
And that Babb and Ix combination, we've seen it for years, but it is just so deadly. Most teams just cannot match up with the two bigs down low. We'll see Hogan out of Vanderstel. She'll take the three from the wing. This one too strong off the back iron. A fight for the rebound. Robertson tried to save it. She stepped out of bounds. We'll be going the other way.
A little bit of a long chuck there, but I love the hustle here from the Hornets. Had 2 players crashing the offensive boards, did not make it easy for the Bulldogs to get that rebound.
Yeah, we mentioned this is one of the better rebounding teams you're going to find, and while they're putting that on display early on a physical defense, Moorhead goes through the screen, dishes it over to Babb. Now to Schultz in the corner. She'll drive in, goes up reverse with the right hand, won't go, but she'll be heading to the line for 2.
Good take down the baseline, went for the Daily Dozen reverse layup. They had Ix inside, decided not to give it to her. Kind of worried about the help side of the other defenders there for Kalamazoo. Maybe if you can exploit that a little bit, kind of pump fake it inside and then skip pass it to the opposite.
As the year goes on, Ava Schultz been more and more aggressive on the offensive end. And we've seen some slow stretches from Babb and Ix at times. And when that happens, they've typically leaned on Ava Schultz to kind of command that offense down low. Second shot from her is good, so she makes 2 out of 2, and just like that, the deficit down to 6. So it's Robertson bringing it up. Bulldogs bring the full court pressure. Man-to-man set. Hogan has it on the wing, calling for the screen. It doesn't come. Ends up with Moore on the wing, guarded by Babb. Out of Dinda outside, back to Robertson. Robertson navigates through, now over to Hogan. Dinda from the wing. They're trying to get it inside. They just can't find the looks. Back to Hogan. Shot clock winding down. She'll be forced to take it. Right hand reverse. Won't go. Rebounded by Schultz. They'll try to turn defense into offense, pushing the tempo. It's tipped around, but ends up back with Moorhead. Moorhead, she's been the facilitator so far. A little bit more aggressive on the offensive end than we've seen her. Babb will take a turn, driving in. Goes up with the right hand. Too strong. Fight for the offensive rebound, but it's collected by Robertson. She'll push it up to Dinda, going the other way. Dinda swings it to Moore, wide open from the wing. She'll take it. Rattles in and out, but rebounded by Hogan. She'll kick out to Vanderstilt. Now to Dinda. Deeper 3 up top. Off the back iron, but another rebound. That one by Robertson. Now it'll end up with Hogan. She'll slow it down. Uses the Vanderstilt screen. Kick to the corner. Robertson. She'll pull it. Well, this one won't go. And finally, the Bulldogs collect it for a moment. And then a foul on the floor. This one against Samaze Robertson.
Well, Kalamazoo definitely not afraid to shoot the 3-pointer anymore, but you got to be careful, though. You can't live and die by it. You know you have your strong inside presence with Vanderstilt, so you want to go down low a couple of times, because if you keep chucking long 3-pointers, then your rebounding tactics aren't going to be as well.
I mean, we've seen it a few times already, a bunch of 3-point shots, and all these Hornets just getting the offensive boards off it, so maybe not the worst strategy in the world to just chuck them up. So here's Babb outside, guarded by Moore. Brings it up top. Now to Lish on the wing. Back to Linerth. Bulldogs is nothing doing as it's swiped away by Hogan, heading the other way. Just has to beat Lish. Goes up. Won't go, but she'll be heading to the line once again.
Yeah, just a careless pass there on the perimeter. Hogan was all the way, read it, and gets the foul at the end.
So this will be Hogan's second turn here. We see her take another one away. So it's Hogan's second trip, went 1 for 2 last time. She's been in for the entire game so far, over 13 minutes played. As you mentioned, Nate, not uncharacteristic for these Hornets.
Both Hogan and Vanderstilt played 40-plus minutes in their game last time, obviously with the 45 minutes, including overtime.
We'll see shot number 2 from Hogan here. This one rattles in. See the Bulldogs try to respond now. They trail by 7, about 6.5 to play here in the first half. She spins off Hogan. Crowd reacts, but nothing doing. End up back with Babb. Now to Linerth on the wing. Ix has space down low. Should go with the reverse. Won't go. Good rebound by Vanderstilt. She's just been cleaning up the boards today. Well, Hogan, the engine of the offense, working against Moorhead. She'll give way to Moore. Now to Allen. Vanderstilt down low against Ix. Goes up with the right hand. This one nowhere close. Rebounded by Ix. So Moorhead going the other way. Uses the screen from Babb. Little floater. This one won't go. But a foul on the play, and we'll see Moorhead on the line for 2.
Really good possession there from Adrian College. Moorhead just low, slow, and in control. Drove down, gets a nice screen there from Babb. That's what I thought on the other end Moorhead should have done also when she gave off the ball to Babb. Babb was going to drive in, and she kind of just dips out of the way. Yet you can do a screen like that when they're running down the court. I know it's going to be pretty tough as your defender's going to be running head-on right into you. But if you can get a screen like that, then you can pull up for a little floater or even a really short mid-range.
Well, with how physical Kalamazoo has been so far, wouldn't surprise me if you see Adrian run some sets to try to counter that. Just a matter of, well, do these players want to stand in front of a moving train?
I think the Bulldogs kind of got to exploit. We've seen a couple of the Kalamazoo defensive prowess is that they're aggressive on the perimeter, and then they sometimes give up positioning on the inside, but they are also aggressive on the help side. So maybe a couple of skip passes and also fake passes on the perimeter to cut back door.
This one a foul on the floor. It's going to be going against Aubrey Ix.
Always got to keep an eye on Aubrey Ix's foul count. Only her first of the night, so she's looking all right.
Yeah, usually at this point of the game, she's at least 2, but she's been disciplined tonight. Only the 1 foul. See Hogan coming off a Paris screen. She'll throw the brakes on. Over to Moore. She'll take the mid-range J. It's contested. Off the rebound. It's Moore. Puts it up and in.
She just got her own rebound right there. You got to box out.
Not the first time we've seen a perimeter shooter get their own rebound in this one. So deficit back to 7. Moorhead comes off a Babb screen, kicks to Ix, now to Bustle. Thought about the 3, decided against it. She swings it to Schultz. Schultz drives in, has a step, goes up with the left hand, but swatted away by Vanderstilt.
You can see as Schultz drove in there, Vanderstilt came in the help side. If Schultz is able to keep her head up and see Ix was wide open on the right side block, and if Bulldogs could do that, they can get some easy layups.
So it's Bustle off the inbound, works against Robertson, swings to Babb up top. Another play down low to Ix. This time they're going to call a foul on the floor against Vanderstilt.
That's going to be Vanderstilt's second. And her going against Ix all night. It's one of those, I'm going to call it one of those are going to foul out here. Either Ix or Vanderstilt.
I mean, you got to think with the amount of just sheer rebounds that are available and the amount of loose balls we've seen, those fouls on the floor are going to add up in this one. So I like your prediction, partner. Let's Bustle up top, swings to the Moorhead. Tries to use a Babb screen, but Hogan fights right through it. Pass inside to Bustle, steps through, but has it taken away by Robertson. Now I see the Hornets going the other way. Pass down low, but it's swiped away by Schultz, collected by Moorhead. So now she'll go the other way, guarded by Hogan. Does a little reverse pivot, nothing doing. She looks for some help, finds it in Schultz. Now to Bustle. She'll take a deep 3 from up top. Too strong off the back iron. Cleaned up by Vanderstilt. Is wide open down low. That's Brittany Miller who misses it. Collected by Robertson and then rebounded by Schultz. Bulldogs caught a break.
Just back and forth we go. Bustle on the long-range 3-pointer. She was just itching to get another one off.
So here's Moorhead. Babb. Now to Bustle. She'll take another 3. This one almost goes in. Just a little too strong. Collected by Vanderstilt. Hogan will bring it up. Works against Moorhead. Now to Moore in the corner. Back to Hogan. Swings to Robertson. Offense at a standstill as it ends up back with Miller. Tries to get it inside. Can't do it. Ends up back with Robertson. Down low to Hogan. Double comes. Triple comes. This one won't go. Rebounded by Ix.
Haven't had a whistle in a while. I believe the next one will be immediate timeout.
As we'll see Moorhead bring it up. Has some space. Thought about the 3. Decided against it. Now to Ix. She'll step through. Kick out to Bustle. Bustle drives. Puts on the brakes. Goes up. But has it swatted away again. And yet another rebound for Vanderstilt. Hogan with a nice pass inside. Fumbled by Miller. Collects it. Puts it up. Won't go. Rebounded by Schultz. The Bulldog offense has a chance to reset now. Moorhead using a Babb screen. Drives in, spins around, goes up, step through with the left hand, won't go, but she'll be heading to the line for 2.
Boy, everyone needed that whistle there. Both sides exhausted, going up and down the court for a couple minutes on end.
And taking a look at the replay, clear foul there, a lot of contact. on the right arm. So that is indeed going to be our media timeout. So we're going to step aside for just a second. 27-20 your score, 3:14 remaining in the first half. You're watching women's basketball here on Adrian College TV.
Adrian College is a pinpoint like no other. With our 77 undergraduate degrees, 47 majors, and 21 broad fields of study, Adrian has a one-of-a-kind, hands-on learning experience for everyone. Do you want to visit the campus of Adrian College in person? Visit adrian.edu/campus-visit. Again, that's adrian.edu/campus-visit. Come take in the beautiful facilities at Adrian College for yourself.
Ready to explore your Adrian future? Scholarship Day lets admitted students tour campus, meet faculty, and earn a renewable scholarship. Register now at adrian.edu/admissions/visit-campus/scholarship-day. Man, that's a mouthful.
Yeah.
So 27-20 your score, 3:14 left in the first half. Well, these last few minutes, it's tough to find a different word than sloppy.
Yeah, I mean, we've gone up and down. We're a couple of minutes without a whistle, a couple of minutes without a made basket. Looking at the trends here, looks like Kalamazoo is scoreless in the last 3 minutes, and Adrian is scoreless in the last almost 3 minutes. So not really much to go off of. Sitting at 27-20. I believe Kalamazoo ended the first quarter with 20 points as a team. Right?
Yeah, you would be correct. Got to think Sam Miller in that media timeout just got to try to draw something up on the offensive end as Moorhead makes another free throw. But again, just these offensive sets that we've seen them run, just kind of like throwing the same dart at a dartboard where the bullseye is just covered up.
Yeah, they're trying to go for the, kind of throw it outside and drive across the lane where it's not really working. The Kalamazoo has too good of a help defense, and sometimes when one player drives in and they kick it out, they kind of get stuck in the path of the other player, which can be good if you want to set a screen on the defender, but then you kind of just draw another defender in there without having them move much.
And they're going to call a travel against Lauren Vanderstilt here as, well, they took a long time to get it across the timeline.
Hit him with the too many steps.
That one gets the crowd involved a little bit. Been quiet so far, just simply haven't had much to cheer about. Still looking for that big play to provide the spark. See if they can find it here. It's Bustle up top. Good defense by Robertson's. Babb puts one up over a pair of defenders. Won't go. Rebounded by Robertson.
Had Schultz in the corner wide open.
As Robertson uses the screen. Puts on the brakes, looking for some help. Kicks it over to Wilkes, who has it up top, guarded by Lish. Navigates through a Cook screen. Now to Robertson on the wing. Shot clock at 10. Babb poked away the entry pass. A lot of steps down low, and they're going to call a foul on Ava Schultz here.
Yeah, it had her hand right there on the arm. I think it's a good call. It's the right call. Just a bad pass on the perimeter, really, from Robertson. Babb was all over it, had her hand in front of the Kalamazoo hand. The Hornets get bailed out. They get a fresh 20 and see what they run for their box inbounds play.
Yeah, it looked like we were going to have a travel before the foul was called. So an unfortunate break there as the shot clock resets to 20. They'll have plenty of time to draw up a good play as Sophia Moore checks into the game. So it's Vanderstilt on the inbound, kicks it to Wilkes. Now to Cook, who has it up top. Robertson on the wing. Another errant pass. This one taken away by Babb. Babb not looking to push the pace. She'll slow things up. She'll give it to Bustle. He's poked away momentarily, but they're going to call a foul on the floor. And a technical will be assessed to Ryan Clark.
Wow, well, they gave him a warning earlier, and I believe that I can't tell if that's the same ref or not that called a warning against him.
Yeah, I think they're going to get him on being on the court during play. You see him pointing at the ground to where his feet are. Now, Ryan Clark has been very active on the defensive end, just been barking at all his players every single possession, and to his credit, it's been working so far, but might have taken an extra half step forward, and that's what all triggered the technical.
Yeah, it kind of reminds you of Shaka Smart from Marquette on a defensive possession, just gets low and really wants to get in the defense.
Well, the Bulldogs will certainly take a couple of free points here as Bustle misses the second. So the deficit down to 4, lowest it's been in, well, quite a while.
Slowly coming back.
Yeah, just chip away over time. Again, coming in, if you looked at the numbers, you would think Adrian would be huge favorites in this one, but such a hot start from these Hornets has resulted in a 4-point lead in the waning minutes of the first half. Lish swings it over to Babb, guarded against Vanderstelt. Babb will drive in, the double conflict, goes up with it anyways and puts it in.
Good finish there from Morgan Babb down low, despite having a lot of bodies in the paint.
Bulldogs almost get the trap. Instead, it's Moore from the wing, drives in, goes up. Awkward shot with the right hand, won't go. Poked around, ends up in the hands of Robertson. Picked up by Linerth. Wilkes, she'll take the three. Too weak off the front iron. Rebounded by Lish. Has it going the other way, navigates traffic, swings to Babb. Thought about it for a moment. Ends up back with Lish. Step back three. Won't go, but rebounded by Linerth down low. She escapes traffic, and they're going to call her for a walk.
Yeah, good call there, Travel Linerth. Had a good offensive rebound, just couldn't put the ball down before she took a couple of steps. Lish has been very quiet. Haven't seen anything from her. 0 points, 0 for 3 from the field. And that 0 for 4 now. And that first one, her first three-point attempt right there.
Yeah, last Wednesday, Lish went for 20 points and 3 steals in that game. Had a couple big moments. Just couldn't result in an Adrian win. So pass, another entry one down low. Finally, it's back with the Hornets. Robertson takes the three, misses badly, but just left her wide open to get her own miss. She puts it up.
That is just completely unacceptable. That's Morgan Babb. The shot happens right in front of her. She turns her back and does not see Robertson crashing the boards and grabs the boards right in front of her.
Yeah, it's really been an effort thing on these rebounds for the Bulldogs. Not the first time we've seen a play like that. Certainly something that needs to be cleaned up. So we'll see Ix take a J, and she'll bury it.
Now getting Aubrey Ix back involved.
So the shot clock is turned off. Hornets will play for the last shot. It's all but a certainty. As Hogan swings it over to Moore on the wing. Back to Vanderstelt. Hogan in the corner. She'll try to go baseline. Nothing doing. Tries to step through. Entry pass. Weird shot by Moore, but it's rebounded by Hogan. And how about this offensive rebounding by the Hornets?
How does that even happen? Hogan almost turned it over into the corner, dishes it out, and then she crashes around towards the boards, get the offensive board, and put it in.
Well, give credit to Ryan Clark and the rest of the Hornets. Whatever he's drawn up on offense seems to be working, just outworking these Bulldogs in the first half. They lead 31-27. As here we have some late action, couple whistles. And Nate, what are they looking at here?
They said they're going to review the last play. Not sure if, honestly, I don't know. Maybe shot clock, well, it was off, so 1 second.
Yeah, they're going to add 1 second. So this should be Adrian basketball, correct? Because I'm going to assume it's after the made basket by Robertson, or by Hogan, rather, that
the clock is supposed to stop after made basket?
Yeah, and they're going to say that it didn't stop. So both teams are going to huddle up here. Well, the dance team is ready to come onto the floor. They look a little disappointed over there. About half the fans in this place had gotten up. But once we heard a whistle and the PA announcer mentioned that they're going to put a minute on the clock, see them taking a look at something over there.
Yeah, the Hornets were all headed to the locker room. Not sure what they're looking at. Honestly, I actually don't know the rules on when it stops. I thought maybe first half it keeps running after made a basket. But
so there's going to be a second on the clock here. Just a matter of who's going to have possession. And you got to think it should be the Bulldogs with it.
Yeah, I mean, Kalamazoo made the bucket with time remaining, so Bulldogs should be getting the ball out of it.
Now, if somehow this ends up with the Hornets, we may have a problem.
Well, they're drawing something up over there on the Bulldogs bench, so You got to think they're going to get a good look if they can get a shot off. Got 1 second, so you probably catch and maybe a dribble and a quick shot, or a catch and a good look from deep.
So your lineup is going to be Babb, Ix.
They waved it
Fussell.
off. Going to be the halftime.
Yeah, so they're going to wave it off. We're going to be heading to halftime here. 31-27, your score. Hornets lead it. We've played 20 minutes here in the Marilat. You're watching women's basketball here on Adrian College TV.
Bulldog fans, remember to follow Adrian College TV on social media. For game highlights and campus events, you can catch it all on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and X at AdrianCollegeTV. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel to catch all our future streams live and support your Bulldogs.
Ready to elevate your game? At Adrian College, our athletes strive for excellence on and off the field. Get involved in over 50 student clubs and organizations where your passions meet purpose. With innovative programs and personalized learning, our academics are designed to ignite your future. Experience vibrant student life, where community and connection shape your college journey. Adrian College, where you belong. Apply today and become part of the Bulldog family.
You stand today, students, on the threshold of a magical time in your life. A time of significant growth and introspection, self-awareness, challenge, and great opportunity. A time that you will always look back on.
This is the Arrington Bookstore at Adrian College, the place to get game day ready, represent your clubs and organizations, and be Bulldog proud. With a wide selection of merchandise and a smile at every visit, stop by inside the Kane Student Center to pick up your Adrian College wares and make it another great day to be a Bulldog.
I'm a special ed social worker.
And I'm a third-year public affairs major.
I'm an action filmmaker.
Jevi is like a consolidated platform where I could have focused information in a couple swipes.
You can be another small voice that adds to a beautiful space. That's what I'm here for.
Hi, I'm Aubrey Morgan, the current student government president here at Adrian College. I chose Adrian College because of the campus size. Campus feels like a fun, energetic community where everyone knows each other. If you want to see what Adrian has to offer for you, you can schedule an in-person visit at adrian.edu/campus-visit.
Adrian College is a pinpoint like no other. With our 77 undergraduate degrees, 47 majors, and 21 broad fields of study, Adrian has a one-of-a-kind, hands-on learning experience for everyone. Do you want to visit the campus of Adrian College in person? Visit adrian.edu/campus-visit. Again, that's adrian.edu/campus-visit. Come take in the beautiful facilities at Adrian College for yourself.
If there was one word I was going to use to describe the communication arts program at Adrian College, it would be unique. Students find themselves on the radio, in front of and behind the camera, and directing their own programs. Students learn in a personalized environment that sets them up for a world of opportunities. Are you ready for your moment in the limelight? Learn more about the Rush Communications Center and Adrian College's communications program by visiting adrian.edu today.
Are you looking to become a future Bulldog and get recruited by Adrian College? Do you display characteristics of tenacity, drive, and determination? With over 50 teams on campus, there are plenty of opportunities to further both your athletic and academic career. For all recruiting inquiries, head to www.adrianbulldogs.com and click on the Recruit Me tab at the top right of your screen. Your future with the Bulldogs is closer than ever.
These students who have worked so hard to achieve what so many never achieve. This evening you join the select company of people who hold a baccalaureate degree or a master's degree. You join a privileged group of individuals, a minority of persons in this country, and an even smaller fraction from around the world who have had both the opportunity to pursue higher education and the intelligence, discipline, and determination to reach this goal. You should be very proud.
I will unquestionably miss being an Adrian College Bulldog. I will miss the pink flowers that light up the campus each spring, the dining halls that prompt exchanges of, "How's your day been?" after a long day of classes, and the sporting events that fill students with pride. I will miss the way this campus instantly feels like home each time I set foot on that Bulldog mile.
Ready? 1, 2, 3.
Before the achievements, before the celebrations, there's the work. Early mornings, late nights. Every challenge faced, every extra effort made.
Every victory starts with preparation.
We value leadership, resilience, and innovation. No victory without work. Because success isn't given, it's earned. Welcome to Adrian College.
Welcome back. ACTV at the half. And, well, Nate, we were talking in between the break there, and, well, I'm honestly struggling to find words to, describe what we just watched for the last 20 minutes.
I mean, yeah, stats really don't tell the story of what we're kind of witnessing here. It was, a little story of it. We came out and Kalamazoo was firing. They started 5 for 5, an early timeout from head coach Sam Miller, and then we had a monitor review that lasted a little longer. And then kind of slowly and surely, Bulldogs kind of climbed back into this one. Just a couple of turnovers both ways. According to the stats, Kalamazoo has 8 turnovers and the Bulldogs have 5. So I think that's kind of what's kept the Bulldogs in this game is the 8 turnovers for the Hornets, and that we're just kind of capitalizing on their mistakes. But really the biggest part of this one, and we could talk about this for like 6.5 minutes until second half comes in, is the offensive rebounds for Kalamazoo. I mean, it just seems like every other possession they're getting at least 1, if not 2. I mean, at this point, I know we're going to be mad about it. It's that it seems like a hustle factor for the Bulldogs. They're just not boxing Kalamazoo out right now.
Yeah, and it's not necessarily the rebounds themselves. It's the severity of what's coming off of those rebounds. I mean, you're seeing orange jerseys fly into the paint uncontested to grab a rebound, and they're either getting a good look right away under the basket or they're kicking it out for an even better look.
Yeah, I mean, that was clearly one of the points of emphasis there for Kalamazoo is, hey, we're going to crash the boards, right? I've seen on a couple occasions where they've got 2 orange jerseys coming into the ball, and the Bulldogs really aren't super aggressive to go and get the ball. They're not jumping up to grab the rebound. They're just kind of waiting for it, and that's how you can even get a shorter player to jump in and kind of just get a tip like that. And then there's a couple occasions down near the latter part with the second quarter is that Kalamazoo would shoot a shot, and then they'd come back and rebound their own miss. Or, one time when Hogan dished it off quickly, and then a shot came after, and Hogan was the one that got the rebound. So it's just, I keep remembering that one instance with Morgan Babb and how I think it was Hogan that shot right in front of her, and then Babb turns around and slowly walks towards the basket, and then the ball comes towards her, and Hogan's right there to pick up the ball and put it in.
Yeah, I mean, we can talk negatively about what the Bulldogs have done so far, but thinking more on the positive side of things, you're down by 4 on the scoreboard despite shooting 9 for 29 from the field in the first half.
Yeah, the 9 for 29, only one made three-pointer, and that was in the first half by Ashlyn Moorhead, who's usually not known for making her three-pointers. And it was just kind of a pull-up one. I think the Bulldogs just got to have a little more pace on offense. They kind of slow it up as we get into the half-court set, and then it's just more or less the same. Kind of try to work it around the perimeter and maybe try to dump it in there for Ix or Babb. And otherwise, they're on the perimeter, maybe trying to just cut across the paint to get a layup on the other side. But Kalamazoo's help defense is just far too good to kind of get anything going on the opposite end. They're always helping out. And the Bulldogs just got to do a better job of keeping their head up and maybe look for the open guy on the outside perimeter.
And just the physicality of their defense. We've already seen a few fouls on the floor called against them. But out of the 9 players who've seen the court today for Kalamazoo, every single last one of them, active feet, active hands, stepping in passing lanes, just standing in front of ball handlers, not allowing more than maybe a few inches of separation, just making the lives of the Bulldogs extremely difficult on the offensive end.
Yeah, 100% agree with you. I mean, it starts with the perimeter defense. They're not letting them any room to breathe on that perimeter. Even with Moorhead coming up, she doesn't often square and face the basket. She kind of backs her own defender down, and then she kind of gets caught off guard a little bit where she passes it and then doesn't move very quickly. And then inside with Ix, the defender is just right behind her and then making it tough to have an entry pass and just can't really get anything going offensively. So I think the Bulldogs, you got to have, I know they have a 1-4 set where they spread them across the free throw line extended there. Maybe have the 2 high post set of screen for the ball handler and just kind of work downhill from there. I'd like to see them get a couple more layups, but not anything that's like wild. Have more of controlled layups. They're heading towards the basket, initiate the contact and get the foul called. Otherwise, you can drive in and then kick it out and have a good set three-pointer. Sometimes the Bulldogs are they're settling for wild jump shots. I mean, one time Sophia Bustle came out the top of the key, caught the ball and turned, and she was about 6 feet away from the three-point line and then shot it. It almost seems like, oh, hey, it's my turn to shoot. I'm going to shoot this shot no matter if it's a good shot or not.
That's a good segue into looking at the more individual game we've seen so far. For Kalamazoo, it's been Ruby Hogan leading the way. In 17 minutes, she has 10 points, 3 rebounds, 2 of them offensive, does have 3 turnovers. Then it's also, you have Lauren Vanderstel has been cleaning up the glass so far. 7 points, 5 rebounds so far. Also has a pair of turnovers, but also a few blocks in this game. So she has certainly been a factor on the Kalamazoo side of things.
Yeah, did you talk about Robertson? Is that who you said?
That was Vanderstel.
Vanderstel, and then the one before that.
That was Ruby Hogan.
So good. Honorable mention here is Samaje Robertson. Got 6 boards and 4 of them being offensive boards. She's been all over the place on the offensive glass, really helping out this Hornet defense, or the Hornet offense. Only 2 for 5 from the field and 0 for 2 from deep, but those offensive rebounds have really helped Kalamazoo step into this one.
So on the other side of things for the Bulldogs is Ashlyn Moorhead leading the way in the scoring department. She is at 9 in the half. Most of those coming at the free throw line. 4 for 4 from there. Of course, had that 3, the only Bulldog 3 so far earlier on. But looking at some other players, Morgan Babb off to a dreadful start in this one. Has 6 points in the game, but 3 for 11 from the field. They're going to need more. They're going to need her to step up here in the second half.
Yeah, they always look for Morgan Babb down low, and especially her has a lot of experience against this Kalamazoo team, and she sees the orange and black very well, but they're going to need her to step up moving forward.
Yeah, so that's going to do it for ACTV at the half. About a minute away from second half basketball. Stay with us here. You're watching women's basketball here on Adrian College TV.
Hi, I'm Aubrey Morgan, the current student government president here at Adrian College. I chose Adrian College because of the campus size. Campus feels like a fun, energetic community where everyone knows each other. If you want to see what Adrian has to offer for you, you can schedule an in-person visit at adrian.edu/campus-visit.
Ready to elevate your game? At Adrian College, our athletes strive for excellence on and off the field. Get involved in over 50 student clubs and organizations where your passions meet purpose. With innovative programs and personalized learning, our academics are designed to ignite your future. Experience vibrant student life, where community and connection shape your college journey. Adrian College, where you belong. Apply today and become part of the Bulldog family.
Welcome back inside the Maryland Sport and Fitness Center. Second half basketball heading your way here. Fresh 10 minutes on the clock. I'll tell you what, Nate, the student section, well, not just the student section, but the stands overall have filled up pretty substantially since we started.
Oh, yeah. I mean, according to the sheet, it said attendance 80, but I think it's a lot more than that.
I think you might need to quadruple that.
Yeah. And these fans are definitely looking for something to cheer about. Obviously, the Bulldogs only had one made three-pointer, and that's probably the easiest thing to cheer about is a made three-pointer.
So the second half is underway. Teams switch sides. We'll see more. Kick it over the far side. Now here's Hogan in the corner, guarded by Leinert. Tries to use a screen from Vanderstelt, navigates through, kick outside to Robertson, had space, didn't take the shot. That's a back with the Dinda. She'll step around now to Robertson. Back to Dinda. She'll take a deep three from up top. Well short and an air ball.
Yeah, they had Vanderstelt in the corner open there, and she's got a hotter hand than Dinda at the top. But empty possession here for Kalamazoo. See if the Bulldogs can capitalize on it.
Yeah, we mentioned the Bulldog crowd needed someone to cheer about. Well, an air ball, that certainly helps the case there. We'll see Lish try to navigate it inside, guarded against Hogan. Kicks it out to Leinert. Puts on the brakes, swings it over back to Lish. Babb asking for it down low, nothing doing. And so back with Leinert on the wing. A cutting Babb gets it. Kick out to Ix. Ix will try to drive in, posts up, kicks out for three. Schultz will take it from the corner. Rattles, won't go, but rebounded by the Hornets. Robertson pushes the tempo. Hogan leaked way out in front transition, throws it off of Lish. A witty play there by Ruby Hogan, keeps it on this end of the floor.
Yeah, really smart. Just get the ball too out much in front of her. Got caught behind the backboard. Instead of stepping on the line, just threw it off of Lish.
And definitely a smart play, especially in the moment, saves the possession. A lot of contact. Nothing called, and we're going to be heading the other way. A little surprised there was not a whistle called there. A couple players collided. But I guess the officials deemed it not foul-worthy. We'll see Lish try to command this Bulldog offense once again. Ends up with Babb, top of the key. Entry pass to Ix. Ix steps through, but blocked once again by Lauren Vanderstelt. She has just been all over the paint today on the defensive end. Dinda, she'll take a three from the wing, and another air ball. That'll get the crowd going again as Babb will try to push this up. Gets it inside immediately, wrapped around. Kind of a jump ball called. We're going to be staying on this end of the floor.
Well, back-to-back air balls there for Taylor Dinda. One to the left and one short. She got a checking out here. Kind of a little embarrassing moment there, but.
Yeah, I think you got to check out after two consecutive air balls on back-to-back possessions. So Leinert outside, guarded by Robertson. Babb comes off an off-ball screen, nothing doing. Leinert swings it over to Ix. Thought about the jumper. She'll drive in instead. Turnaround, right hand, won't go. But Babb down there for the rebound. She goes up, won't go, but she'll be heading the line for two.
And the Bulldogs crashing their offensive glass. Kind of taking a page out of the Hornets book. Babb gets it down low and then puts it up, gets the foul called.
You know, we've seen a few games this year where the Bulldogs really tried to space teams out and use some of their athleticisms. We see Morgan Babb make the nice play, getting the offensive rebound. But it feels like we're kind of trending into this gritty, hard-fought game where we're not going to see a team pull away.
You know, a lot of these past matchups between the two teams have gone close. I believe 2 out of the last 5 or so have gone to overtime, so not uncharacteristic storyline here.
Second shot from Babb will rattle in. Deficit down to 3, smallest it's been since about 4 minutes into this game. So We'll end up with Robertson. They get it across the timeline. Looking for some help. Swings over to Moore. She'll take the pull-up midi. Rattles off the iron. Won't go. Rebounded by Liner. She swings it to Lish to get the offense going here on the other end. She'll get a screen from Babb. Doesn't use it. Drives in. And another block by Lauren Vanderstel.
Yeah, I got a redwood tree down there. Vanderstel just denies Lish.
A redwood tree indeed. Now our stats say that she has 0 blocks, but I'm willing to bet that that's not correct. Off the inbound, Lish goes up, fouled from behind by Hogan, and she'll be heading to the line for 2.
Yeah, just a really nice cut there from Lish. Got the setup and then dove inside to beat Hogan. You can see her just wide open, kind of lost track.
That's a play we've seen a few times from the Bulldogs here, just kind of not forgetting about a player, but just leaving too much space for him, and they beat you by a step. Gets good positioning. Give credit to Lish. She takes advantage. She makes the first free throw. Second one from her is up and in. Deficit down to 1. The Bulldogs once again going to bring this half-court pressure, trying to force a turnover early in the possession. Robertson has it on the wing. Gets a lane inside, kicks to the corner, now to the wing, up top. That's Vanderstel. She'll take the 3, too strong. Rebound, a fight for it down low, poked around, but ends up in the hands of Hannah Lish. She'll push the tempo the other way. Going to slow things up now. Looking for some help. Babb, she'll try to go baseline. The help comes immediately. Spin around, Jay rattles in and out. Fight for the rebound. This one going to be staying on this side of the floor.
The foul called. The foul against Kalamazoo. Leinert gets rewarded with another board.
Yeah, they're putting it against Ruby Hogan. She's begging the referees to take another look at it. And Ryan Clark, no stranger to getting up off that seat on the bench. And once again, Ryan Clark being instructed to stay off the court. I'll tell you what, he's one of the more active head coaches you're ever going to see.
Yeah, this is going to be his 4th year there for Ryan Clark at Kalamazoo.
So off the inbound, it's Lish. Looking for someone to get it to. Clock winding down, and they're going to call the 5-second violation.
Well, he had some momentum there going forward after the coach getting upset, but then you ruin it with a 5-second call.
So it's Wilkes. Gets it across the timeline, guarded by Schultz. Now she'll be guarded, picked up again by Schultz. Bulldogs settle into another zone. On the wing, it's Allen. Swings it over to Robertson. Now to Wilkes. She'll try to go baseline. Kick out for Allen. She'll take the 3. No, that's more. Another air ball by the Hornets. Offensive rebound won't go. Another offensive rebound. This time it's collected by Ava Schultz. Bulldogs push the tempo the other way. Ix has it in the corner. Kicks it over to Leinert. Leinert, she'll take the pull-up J off the back iron. Rebounded by Moore. Just a lot of missed shots and offensive rebounds in this game. Vanderstel fighting with Ix down low. She swings it around. Ends up in the hands of Wilkes on the wing. Now to Robertson. Gets the screen from Wilkes. Tries to navigate through. Lish poked it away, but a late whistle comes in.
Yeah, it was a late whistle. I thought Lish had the clean swipe. And that was actually Ruby Hogan's 4th foul of the game, so she hits to the bench with 6 minutes left in the 3rd quarter. Might not see a lot from her moving forward, and that's a big loss for Kalamazoo.
Absolutely, leading scorer on the team, but overall, she's 6th in the conference in scoring, so they're not losing just anybody. So someone's going to have to step up for Kalamazoo. Sarah Moore, she'll take the 3 off the front iron, rebounded by Ix. So Bulldogs will have a chance to take their first lead of the game. Had a few chances, but I got a good feeling about this one. As Babb dribbles it out of bounds, we'll be heading the other way.
Well, Babb goes baseline as she likes to do. Just got poked away and must have dribbled it off her foot.
So Bustle checks in favor of Leinert. Sam Miller trying to get some more three-point shooting. Something this team has, dearly lacked throughout the entire season, but especially tonight, 1 for 7 from 3. So pass inside is poked away by Bustle. Ends up in the hands of Babb. She'll push the tempo going the other way. Has a mismatch against Wilkes. She'll swing it over to Moorhead, who will try to drive in. Puts on the brakes, spun around, right-handed mini floater, won't go. Rebounded by Vanderstelt once again. Bulldogs just can't find that offensive spark. Robertson drives in. Nice step-through layup. Puts it in for two.
Good take there from Robertson. Saw the open lane, cut through the defender. Wide open layup on the block.
So it's Schultz, now to Bustle, now to Moorhead. Guarded by Robertson on the wing, calls for the screen from Babb. She'll use it. Thought about the three, wouldn't take it. Now to Babb down low, one-on-one matchup. Awkward shot there, no foul called. Babb was surely hunting it there. Kicks it back to Wilkes. She'll take the three, too weak. Rebounded by Babb. Babb got to get some help to get it up. But no, she'll stick with it. Eventually, she'll give way to Moorhead. Just under 5 minutes here in the third quarter. Offense been tough to come by, really ever since the first quarter. So here's Bustle on the wing, couple steps in, puts on the brakes, dish to Ix, head of steam, puts on the brakes, swing back to Babb. Babb will take a turn driving in, gets hit from behind, goes up and in, puts it for two.
Really good possession there for the Bulldogs.
So Wilkes has it up top. Bulldogs still in a zone on the defensive end. Ends up with Moore in the corner, works against Bustle. And navigated up top, swings it over to Allen, now to Robertson on the left wing. Tries to get a screen from Vanderstelt. Bulldogs switch. Wilkes has space. She'll drive in. Spins around. Fadeaway jumper rattles and eventually makes its way to the bottom.
Well, didn't get much altitude on her jump there. Pretty flat shot, but got the roll.
Here's Babb going the other way. Had a cutting Schultz. Decided not to use her. Schultz go up. Won't go in, but she'll be heading to the line for another pair of free throws.
Again, takes it to the baseline. This time gets the angle. Bit of a tough angle shot, though, from underneath the backboard, but gets bailed out with a foul.
So that's going to be our media timeout. 3:43 left in the third quarter. Don't go anywhere. You're watching women's basketball here in Adrian College TV.
Welcome to Adrian College, where we believe in educating both the heart and the mind. With over 100 innovative academic programs and 10 cutting-edge institutes, you'll find a path that's right for you. Join our vibrant community of over 50 athletic teams and discover why we're recognized as a U.S. News & World Report Most Innovative Institution. Adrian College, where passion meets purpose. Your future starts here.
Don't miss Chase Matthew live at Adrian College on March 21st at 7 p.m. for our spring concert. It's free for all Adrian College students, and tickets are available now at adriancollege.hometownticketing.com. That's March 21st. Chase Matthew at Adrian College. We're holding it down. So 35-32 your score in favor of the Hornets. Offense been very tough to come by here in the third quarter. Just 9 points combined between the two teams.
Oh boy. Yeah, 1 for 15 on three-pointers for the Bulldogs. No, for Kalamazoo. 1 for the last 15 three-pointers. They started off hot and then just have tailed off from there. And I think both these teams are kind of just settling too much for shots, whether it be an errant layup or a quick jump shot that's really not in rhythm and in not a good form.
Yeah, neither team could just find that offensive spark. And the Bulldogs 1 for 9 from the field here in the second half. Kalamazoo not much better at 2 for 10. However, the Bulldogs, they just made their 4th free throw of the half. Second shot from Babb is up. Rattles, won't go. So the deficit remains at 2. It's Wilkes, the point going the other way. Swings it over to Vanderstelt, now to Allen on the wing, guarded by Liner, who's back into the game. Ends up back with Wilkes. She's guarded by Bustle. Calling for a screen, it won't come. She'll give way. Here's Allen coming off a screen. Kicks it to Dinda. Dinda navigating through, kicks back to Allen. Uses the screen from Dinda, back to her. 24 versus 24. She works against Liner, goes up, won't go. Rebounded by Babb. Babb in this game, 4 for 14 from the field. This has not been her night. She'll pull the three here. Rattles, won't go. Linerth trying to make a play The defensive end comes up short. There's Wilkes calling out the play, swings it to Vanderstelt, now to Allen. Works off the screen. She'll pull the deep three from the wing and buries it.
Well, how about Michaela Allen coming off the bench and making her shot? Only the freshman from Pittsburgh, Michigan.
You can tell they've been wanting to go to her multiple times in this one. Just so far it's been good defense by the Bulldogs. Schultz will take the reverse layup. Won't go off the shot clock, but she'll be heading the line for two.
Yeah, obviously Schultz had the mismatch there going against the slower Allen. Beats her to the baseline, went for the reverse layup. Catch it on the replay there outside, then just a good left-handed attack with the right hand guarding.
Now it seems like on a lot of these possessions, the Bulldogs just hunting free throws, which, while not a bad strategy, you still got to be able to put the ball in the basket some other way.
And the free throw percentage was a big part of the game last time they played out. They lost by 1, and they missed 7 free throws.
Yeah, free throws so far so good for the Bulldogs, and Schultz converts both. Bulldogs still in the zone. It's McElroy now guarding Wilkes. Swings it to Allen. Now to Dinda up top. Back to Allen. Now Wilkes quickly swarmed by a pair of Bulldogs. She'll take the pull-up J off the back iron. Won't go. Rebounded by Schultz. She'll clear it out to McElroy. She works against Wilkes. Now to Bustle on the wing. Active hands by Allen. Gets the screen from Schultz. Kicks it over to Ix instead. Ix will try to go inside. Now works against Cook. Spins around, but another block. No! Late whistle comes in. This one going to be going against Lauren Vanderstelt.
Yeah, good read there from Aubrey Ix. Saw that the wing pass wasn't open, so goes inside. I think she just made the wrong decision on which way to turn. Went towards the paint, and both defenders with Cook and Vanderstelt. But gets bailed out with a foul called, and again, Bulldogs at the line.
Now Aubrey Ix on the line. First shot from her is good. One of the better free throw shooters on the team. However, this is the first time we've seen her on the line today. And these free throws so crucial, especially as we're nearing the fourth quarter. Every single point matters, as they currently trail by 1, 38-37. As this one's going to be intercepted by Babb. Tries to keep it in, but unable to do so.
Just got to go up with 2 hands. You see the pass coming in, you can go pick it off like a interception in football. Just on control. I like Ava Schultz. She's got a lot of good, strong rebounds here coming down the stretch. This is one of those players actually will go up and jump for it and then chin it and rip it.
So in a brief stoppage for a moment, but we're back to the action here. It ends up with Dinda swarmed by Ix. She's going to back off, swings it over to Allen now in the left corner. She's trapped in the corner, and they're going to say she stepped out of bounds. We're heading the other way.
Crowd getting back into it now. A couple of mental mistakes here for Kalamazoo, and Bulldogs got to use this energy.
So it'll be McElroy, the commander of the offense for now, bringing it up the floor. Uses the screen for Mix. Kick to Babb outside. She'll swing to the corner, and it's dropped by Schultz, and it ends up out of bounds. We'll be going the other way.
Yeah, another turnover there for the Bulldogs. Just kind of took your eyes off of the ball before she caught it. A little bit of an errant pass, but still one you got to have.
Late substitutions. We'll see Robertson check back into this game. So far tonight, Robertson been big on the rebounding side of things, has 7. He's also added 6 points on 50% shooting. She swings to Allen in the corner, who navigates it up top. Now to Dinda. Robertson from the wing. She'll take the 3. This one well short, and another air ball. As Bustle collects it, swings it to McElroy. McElroy drives, nothing doing there, kicks it back out. Bustle will take a turn driving in. She puts on the brakes. Back to McElroy. She'll take the corner 3. Won't go. Rebounded by Vanderstelt once again. Seems like every time the Bulldogs have a chance to really build momentum, just unable to capitalize. It'll be Robertson coming off the Cook screen. She'll drive in. This one's swatted away by Babb. That'll get the crowd fired up. We'll see if they can turn it into some offense. Babb, head down, straight to the basket, goes up, puts it in for 2. Bulldogs finally get a lead.
What a great turn of events there for Morgan Babb. The straight up block, 2-handed, and then took a coast to coast and finishes on the other end.
Yeah, those are the type of plays the Bulldogs need as they leave Dinda open. She doesn't take the three. Now it's Robertson in the corner. Vanderstel good positioning down low. Double comes in, late contact. A foul is called. It's going against Morgan Babb.
Boy, Kalamazoo needed a stop there. You can tell they've struggled on offense without Ruby Hogan in there. Just gets hammered on both sides by Babb and Ix. Vanderstel to the line.
And normally we don't advise people going up on Ix and Babb down low, but that time it works out. However, Vanderstel missed the first free throw, so pretty much at best you're looking at a tied game going into the fourth quarter, which, well, if you're here for the entertainment, you found it. It'll be McElroy, 2 seconds left on the clock. She'll have to heave one up. Babb got it off, but it's going to be well short, and that is going to do it for the third quarter. But Nate, we got a good one brewing here. 39-39 your score after 3 quarters. Just 10 minutes remaining in this one. Don't go anywhere. You're watching women's basketball here on Adrian College TV.
If there was one word I was going to use to describe the communication arts program at Adrian College, it would be unique. Students find themselves on the radio, in front of and behind the camera, and directing their own programs. Students learn in a personalized environment that sets them up for a world of opportunities. Are you ready for your moment in the limelight? Learn more about the Rush Communications Center and Adrian College's communications program by visiting adrian.edu today.
Well, welcome back inside the Marilas Sport and Fitness Center. It is fourth quarter time here, and, well, you can just kind of feel the buzz in the gym tonight.
Well, yeah, they're about to play Hell's Bells on the PA here. The crowd into it after that last possession. A couple of possessions here stepped out of bounds for the Kalamazoo and several air balls for the Hornets as well. Bulldogs just need that and one to really get the crowd fired up.
So no Ruby Hogan on the court yet. She still has 4 fouls. So the Hornets will have to find offense elsewhere. It'll be Robertson kicking it over to Dinda, and she'll swing it to Moore, who's playing with 3 fouls herself. So swing it over to Vanderstel, works off a Cook screen, swing back to Robertson. She'll take the 3 from the wing, way too strong. Rebound collected by Lish. She'll push the tempo up before putting on the brakes, trying to get back into the half-court set. A lot of movement down low. She'll get a screen from Ix, driving into the right side. And they're going to call an illegal screen. We're going to be going the other way.
Must have called against Babb there on the near side. Oh, going against Ix. Oh, yeah. Seen that illegal screen up top.
Yep, so the Bulldogs try to trap, nothing doing. Ends up with Dinda on the wing. She'll work it up top, swings to Robertson, who again fumbles a pass. Here's Moore trying to find some space. Nothing doing. Back to Vanderstel. Now to Moore. Robertson open on the wing. Swings to the corner. Dinda puts a nice crossover on. Pass down low. Deflected off a Hornet. We're going the other way.
Well, I think just at the tail end there, Bustle got away with a little push in the back. Must not have been much of a push. And Bulldog get the ball going. See if they can get either an and one or a 3-pointer, because they're still 1 for 9 from the day.
They just got to find a way to get that spark. They haven't found it yet. But just getting this crowd behind you in the waning minutes. Babb will take a 3, but it'll be deflected. And an over-the-back foul. I believe this is going to go against Aubrey Ix, and Sam Miller is irate.
Yeah.
Someone's got to grab a hold of Sam Miller. Looks like, well, the referee did it for him. He walked away. He is not happy with the call. He is still barking at the other official now. As we continue play, Sam Miller finally going to close his mouth, and here's another turnover. It's going to be Bulldog basketball.
Well, Bulldogs still needing that spark there. They've done well in the defensive end by forcing Hornet turnovers, but they just need to get some buckets.
It'll be Hannah Lish working against Robertson. Gets it across the timeline. Bulldogs setting up the straight wall. Ends up with Bustle. She'll swing it to Babb up top. Swing it to Ix. Eggs will work off the Bab screen, drives in, kick outside to Bustle, thought about the three, pump fakes instead. Good ditch to Ix. She'll be head of the line for two.
That is what we're talking about. Get the drive in and then exploit the help defense from the Hornets, dish it off to the big down low. Take another look at it. That's exactly what it was. Vanderstel came up to help as the other Hornet was beat, and then just get it down to Ix.
That's one of the first times today that we've seen just full cohesion on the Bulldog offense. We've seen a lot of individual plays, players rushing shots, but a nice slow possession like that where everyone just made the passes they needed to make, and it results in a trip to the free throw line as the Bulldogs now lead this one once again. Second shot from Ix is up, rattles, and eventually makes its way to the bottom. So they lead it by 2, just over 8 to play here in the fourth quarter. Got a good finish brewing here. Long pass. Ends up back with Robertson now. Down low to Vanderstel. Now Hogan back in the game, playing with 4 fouls. Deep three off the back iron, rebounded by Ix. Robertson fell down for a moment, thought they were going to push the tempo, but here's Lish. She has a step on Robertson, but as it's stripped away, but a foul is going to be called on the floor. I believe they're going to call that against Robertson.
Yeah, Robertson across the wrist there as Lish was diving in towards the bucket. Saw the open hole, attacked the glass, and again, his Bulldog team goes to the free throw line, shooting their 23rd and 24th free throws of the night.
Yeah, Lish, not the most efficient free throw shooter on the team. She makes the first one. At least if she misses this, got a chance at a rebound, but with how good these Hornets have been rebounding the basketball today, it'll be a tough task for Bab and Ix down low. But Bab's going to fight for it, and she's going to get the rebound. Ends up Bustle. Corner three from the wing. It'll end up as an air ball going out of bounds.
Yeah, you can just kind of see her feet slide a little bit to the left off of that catch. You can see the defender closing out hard on her. That's what's kind of forced the Aaron shot, missed wide left.
I've mentioned before, this crowd wants something to cheer about as more energy comes from them. I'll tell you what, I want something to cheer about myself. We haven't had that big play yet. That just means the tension is brewing here. Fight for it down low, and Ix takes it away. Vanderstel's still on the ground. Bulldogs are up a player going the other way. Lish drives in, has it swatted away, but she'll be heading to the line once again for two.
That's a nice strong play there from Lish, heading down to the paint. And again, it forces the contact, gets the call. And on the other end, Ix just quickly diving in to force the turnover. Went in with two hands is the safest way to do it. Instead of going in with one, they get called for the foul. They rip it away. Caught Vanderstel on her back, and then they go out quickly in transition.
So Lish makes the first once again. She's been quiet tonight despite playing in 23 minutes. She's 0 for 5 from the field. It includes one miss from outside, but so far 3 for 4 from the line. Make that 4 for 5. Couple of clutch free throws there by Hannah Lish.
Yeah, Lish is definitely going to be a big factor coming down the stretch. I think if the Bulldogs are going to get another three-pointer, she's going to be the one to make it.
Lish playing with 3 fouls right now. As we have Ruby Hogan on the floor playing with 4 fouls. Bulldogs try to swarm. She swings it over to Vanderstel. If you're Ryan Clark, I'm sure it was a tough decision for him to get her back in the game, as she'll take the 3 here, and that's why Ryan Clark has her on the floor with 4 fouls.
Yeah, just by playing with 4 fouls, you need her offense badly. Gets a three-pointer there. Haven't had a lot of scoring from any other Hornets.
A mismatch up top. It'll be Bab working against Moore. Swings to Schultz on the wing. Now to Bustle. Bustle pump fake. She'll drive in. Left hand. Swatted away by Josie Cook. Now here's Moore going the other way. Dish down low to Vanderstel. Goes up. Count it. And the foul.
Really good one-headed pass there from the other side coming from Moore. Drove baseline, quickly whipped it across the paint, and one. There's the big play we're talking about.
Yeah, you saw the Kalamazoo fans erupt when that whistle blew, and they saw it fall through the nylon. So a chance for Lauren Vanderstel and the rest of the Horns to take the lead, and she does just that. 45-44, 6:25 left in the game. It'll be Lish bringing it up. I would presume this is the lineup we'll see for a while. No subs waiting to come in. Bustle put on the brakes. Now Ix has it up top, swings it over to Lish, uses a screen. Babb up top in the corner, that's Schultz. Now to Ix up top, thought about the three for a moment, decided against it. Shot clock down to 5. Now over to Lish. Lish will try to drive in. Pull up Jay, too strong off the back iron. Ball deflects around, ends up in the hands of Bustle. Goes in with the floater, has it blocked, but it's rebounded by Hogan. She'll push it the other way, works through, won't go, but she'll be heading to the line for a pair of free throws.
Vander still again there with the block, and then back out in transition. Ruby Hogan takes it the length of the floor. Just a quick reach in there from Schultz. Little lazy, catches the wrist. 2 shots coming up for Kalamazoo.
Now, I don't mind the foul there by Ava Schultz. That was her 3rd of the game. No, sorry, her 4th of the game, rather. So the first shot is good from Hogan. See what this Bulldog crowd can do to try to distract her. Second shot is absolute butter. So Hornets extend their lead up to 3 now. We'll see Lish coming the other way. See if she can generate something. Has some space from outside. Didn't take the shot. Instead, it's Ix down low. Spins around against Cook. Won't go. But she'll be headed to the line for a pair.
Yeah, it just must be some sloppy defense here. We've seen a lot of fouls on both sides. Taking our look at it, Ix turns and spins to her left. One of her favorite moves. Gets the foul called against Cook.
So far in the 4th quarter, the Hornets are 2 for 4. Bulldogs 0 for 5. But look at the free throws. After that one, the Bulldogs are now 6 for 7, while Kalamazoo 3 for 3. So more field goals, or more free throws than field goals so far, is another couple of clutch free throws from Aubrey Ix, as she'll check out of the game in favor of Moorhead. So Bulldogs opting to go small here. Morgan Babb, maybe Ava Schultz, the bigs on the court. Vanderstelt gets it across the timeline, swings it over to Hogan. Picked up by Liner, swung over now to the corner. That's Moore. Another air ball 3. Liner, good effort on the rebound. She'll swing it over to Babb. Just over 5 to play here. She'll give way to Moorhead. Uses the screen from Babb to drive in. Little floater with the right hand, rattles, won't go. Another rebound and a foul on the floor against Morgan Babb.
Yeah, good move there from Moorhead to just get inside. Kind of a little hesitation, and then that's one of those mental fouls you really can't have, especially this late in the game. Only Morgan Babb's second, though, but 90 feet from the basket. Once the other team has the ball, you got to get your hands out of there.
So already we have Kalamazoo in the bonus here. We'll see Taylor Dinda check in once again. See Sam Miller having a conversation with Moorhead right now. First shot won't go by Vanderstelt. So for now, the deficit for the Bulldogs remains at 1. We'll see the second shot here. This one rattles its way in. So under 5 to play, it'll be Lish bringing it up. Bulldogs just still looking for that big play on the offensive end. Moorhead up top. Gonna reset up top, calling for the screen. She gets a pair of them. She'll use the one from Schultz, puts on the brakes, dribbles it off her knee, but she'll regain it. Doesn't have her dribble, has to give it up. And it's Babb, she'll go baseline, uses that strength reverse layup, gets her own miss. Now Liner with the rebound. Lish, she'll take the 3. There's gonna be a whistle. Referee's gonna have a discussion about it.
I think there's something about the shot clock and if it should have reset, if it hit the rim or not.
The second shot from Babb should have hit the rim. It appeared to do so. Then Liner, give her credit, fought for another tough rebound.
According to our BCSN partners over here, he did say it was the shot clock.
So they're going to take a look at that. So we're going to step aside for just a moment. But we got a good one brewing here. 4:30 left to play, 48-46. Hornets lead it. You're watching women's basketball here on Adrian College TV.
a special ed social worker.
And I'm a third-year public affairs major.
I'm an action filmmaker.
I'm a recent graduate from Michigan State University.
I'm an underwater cinematographer.
So I didn't really decide I wanted to become a pilot till after college.
Jevy is like a consolidated platform where I could have focused information in a couple swipes.
Involve yourself as many opportunities that you can.
The number one most important thing is knowing your own weaknesses. Proper planning.
Breakfast.
It's always something different, something new.
The fact that you can be another small voice that adds to a beautiful space. That's what I'm here for.
Just a reminder, ACTV broadcasts are fully student-ran. Students call the shots around here, literally. So we will give a quick shout-out to everyone on our crew today. Take a quick attendance. Nate?
Yep, I'm here. Remy, you here?
I am here. Oh, we got that covered. We got 4:30 left to play. I do have to give some credit to my partner, Nate Linder. Not only has he been the color commentator this evening, but also running things on the technical end as our director. So we got a good one brewing here. 48-46, 4.5 to play. Neither team has been able to find their stride on the offensive end. Seems like the first team to go on just a mini run is going to be the one that takes it.
Yeah, I mean, 2-point game here, 4:30 left to go. It's anyone's game at this point, and like I think you said, the offense is really going to have to step up on either direction, and especially those free throws coming down the stretch, because these refs are having a very tight whistle. They're calling almost anything and everything that's happening near the basket. So I think for the Bulldogs, you got to drop a couple of plays here to get Hannah Lish an open three-pointer. You know, I don't want to say she's having a bad night because she's shooting fairly worse from the floor, but she's only shot one three-pointer, so you can't really. It's hard to tell what kind of three-point night she's having when you only have one as your sample size. So I'd like to get her involved a little bit more from behind the arc, and maybe Kalamazoo knows that, and that's why they're not giving her any open looks behind the arc. But as far as defensively, Bulldogs just doing a lot of that zone defense and seem to be working fairly well as long as Kalamazoo misses their three-pointers. And I think it kind of plays to Kalamazoo's strengths that the Bulldogs are playing that zone defense, because then they can just kind of sit on the arc and chuck up some shots.
Yeah, talking about three-point shooting. Well, I'm not going to sugarcoat it. It's been ugly tonight. Kalamazoo 6 for 24 from beyond the arc, and for Adrian, it's 1 for 11. That is 9.1%. So it looks like our lineup on the floor is going to be Leinert, Schultz, Babb, Lish, and Moorhead. And for the Hornets, it's going to be Dinda, Hogan, Vanderstelt, Allen, and I am missing one here. Moore. I found it. Look at that, Nate. I can count to 5. So these officials still looking at the previous play, so we're going to step aside while they figure that out. You're watching women's basketball. Oh, never mind. I think we're going to stay here. I think we got to figure it out.
Well, the Bonner getting plenty of use here in today's game. I think it's probably, what, 4th, 5th time they've gone to it?
Absolutely. I mean, I'm all for getting the calls right, but every time we have a stoppage, seems like we're waiting about a quarter century just for it to, get sorted out. So it's Hornet possession. It'll be Ruby Hogan bringing things up. Adrian opts to not bring pressure this possession. So Hogan works against Lish. Brings it slightly left. Now swings it to Moore. Now to Allen on the wing. She'll bring it up top. Back to Allen. In the corner, that's Hogan. Good pump fake. She'll take the pull-up J from the baseline off the back iron. Fight for the rebound. Ends up with Moore off the jumper, and she buries it.
Nice easy jump shot there from Moore, about 10 feet out. Not always the easiest jump shot when you're in between.
Yeah, she made it look pretty easy there. It's Schultz up top. Now Moorhead. Pass to a cutting Babb. She'll go up. Another good contest. Not sure if you got a piece of it, but Lauren Vanderstelt. And just been a menace on the defensive end down low. Bulldogs just can't get any quality looks over her tonight. And ends up with Allen. Works off the screen from Moore. Now to Vanderstelt. Works its way over to Hogan. She'll go baseline against Leinert. Has some space. Tries to kick it out. Here's Allen. 3 from the wing. Misses badly. Rebounded by Schultz. It'll be Lish pushing the tempo. She'll try to go the other way. Euros through. Right hand. Puts it in for 2.
Coast to coast. Hannah Lish all the way. And a nice move at the end.
Now we'll see if they can bring on the defensive end. It's Dinda on the wing, brings it up top, pass inside to Vanderstel, has good positioning, goes up with the right hand. Easy bucket for Lauren Vanderstel.
Strong take there from Vanderstel. I think we're seeing both these teams finally find the rhythm, trading buckets here.
Well, it only took about 37 minutes for it to happen, but here we are. Bulldogs trail by 4, under 3 to play. It's Hannah Lish who has it outside, uses the screen from Babb. She'll pull the 3 from up top, misses badly off the glass.
Not sure if that's entirely her shot to pull up. I like to see her come off of the screen.
She had a lot of separation, but maybe a little bit out of her range. It's Allen up top, swings it over to Moore. Moore to Dinda, tries to back down Liner with awkward catapult-like shot. And end up as an air ball, and we'll be heading the other way.
Yeah, just another one of those forced shots. Here's Lish coming back on the other end. Not much of a contest there from Allen.
So we're going to have a timeout here. 2:18 left to play. Bulldogs trail by 4. Don't go anywhere. We got a good one brewing here. Women's basketball here on Adrian College TV.
Looking to become a future Bulldog and get recruited by Adrian College? Do you display characteristics of tenacity, drive, and determination? With over 50 teams on campus, there are plenty of opportunities to further both your athletic and academic career. For all recruiting inquiries, head to www.adrianbulldogs.com and click on the Recruit Me tab at the top right of your screen. Your future with the Bulldogs is closer than ever.
Welcome back inside the Maryland Sport and Fitness Center. 2 minutes, 18 seconds on the clock. 52-48 your score in favor of the Hornets. And while I'm running out of words to say, that pretty much every possession we're seeing something we haven't seen yet.
Yeah, I mean, one of those games, you know, where just every kind of possession is something else, and it really speaks to the creativity of these players up and down. We're going to see what makes happen of them. Sometimes it's not always about the X's and O's, it's about the Jimmies and Joes.
We'll see if those Jimmies and Joes come into effect here. Again, it's just been a gritty game on both sides. Neither team has pulled away. The largest lead of the game was 15 by Kalamazoo. That happened in the first about 5 minutes of the game, but since then, it's been back and forth basketball. Adrian led it for a little bit, but pretty quickly, Kalamazoo took it right over. So here's Hannah Lish bringing things up. Chance to bring it down to 1 possession. She sets up the offense, kicks it to Babb, who has it, top of the key. Looks for Bustle, couldn't find her. She'll drive in, step through, goes up, but nothing doing there. But it's poked away by Schultz from behind. Kick to Bustle from the wing. Her three-pointer, too strong off the back iron. Rebounded by Sophia Moore. Doesn't have the number. She'll slow things up. More of a foul on the floor. I know it'll be a timeout called by Ryan Clark. So while both teams talk it over, we will step aside. 1:51 remaining here on Adrian College TV.
Before the achievements, before the celebrations, there's the work. Early mornings, late nights. Every challenge faced, every extra effort made.
Every victory starts with preparation.
We value leadership, resilience, and innovation. No victory without work. Because success isn't given, it's earned. Welcome to Adrian College.
Welcome back inside the Maryland Sport and Fitness Center. 52-48, Hornets lead it. 1:51 left on the clock. Nate, an interesting note here. Now looking at time with the lead in this one. 33 minutes and 34 seconds for the Hornets.
Wow, that's like 85% of the game.
That's some quick mental math, my friend. So on the court, it's Moore. Swings it over. Ends up with Hogan on the wing. Back to Dinda. Now back to Moore. A lot of physicality on Bustle, and they're going to call a foul on her.
Yeah, well, both teams are in the bonus at this point. Not officially yet for the Hornets. They have 4 fouls, but the next foul will be the 5th. And the Bulldogs will be headed to the line. So,
well, the Bulldogs, if they end up at the line, they will have eclipsed 30 free throws in this game. That one, the 14th attempt for Kalamazoo, as they now lead it by 5. Just crucial shots down the stretch here. This one rattles and eventually makes its way down to the bottom. Bulldogs got to get something going. They now trail by 6. Desperately need a bucket here. It'll be Lish, swings it to Bustle. Now to Babb, who has it. She's going to try to post up Vanderstelt. Step through right hand, but swatted away again. But Bustle there for the rebound. Still a scramble forward on the ground. And are they calling a foul on the backside against Vanderstelt there?
They are. They're going to call it against 22.
Yeah, Vanderstelt can't believe it. She was a good 25 feet from the basketball. Just a face of disbelief. And fortunately for the Bulldogs, it's Sophia Bustle on the line.
Yeah, again, with the block from Vanderstelt to start, been all over the court here defensively, and then the scramble drill goes towards the opposite side of the basket. Bustle was down on all fours, scrambling for the ball, and then somehow they call the foul against Vanderstelt.
So first shot from Bustle is good. It's up to 3 points in the game now. Bulldogs desperately need these down the stretch, and Bustle converts both. So back down to 4 points is the deficit. Bulldogs need a stop on defense here as much as they need a bucket, and Ava Schultz going to come up with a big play. She's going to slow things up on the wing, kicks it over to Bustle, now to Lish, wide open from the wing, nylon! Hannah Lish drills one from deep and gets the crowd fired up.
That is what the Bulldogs needed, a wide open look for Hannah Lish on the wing. Absolutely drills it.
Yeah, they turn the defense into offense, and this place is buzzing now, under a minute to play. It's Hogan on the wing, works it against Lish. Now to Moore, she drives in, nothing doing, kicks back out. Hogan now has a chance to drive. Pull up Jay, won't go. Fight for the rebound, collected by Ix. We're going to have a timeout here. Sam Miller's going to call it. So we're going to step aside for just a second. We have a 1-point game with Bulldog possession. 37.5 seconds left. You're watching women's basketball here on Adrian College TV.
The Adrian College Media Production House provides opportunities for students to learn and grow live on the airwaves, just like Matt Kibbe.
I've gotten a chance to create a relationship with coaches and teams and learn more from people instead of trying to teach myself something. Got an opportunity to expand my knowledge of sports, hone in on my skills as a broadcaster, and learn about equipment in different ways. You get more of a connection with professors as well.
Providing opportunities, growing leadership. The Adrian College Media Production House. Thanks for tuning in.
Welcome back inside the Maryland Sport and Fitness Center. Before we stepped away, Hannah Lish with a big three-pointer. Just left her wide open on the wing, and only the second time tonight a Bulldogs made a three, but they get it when it matters most. And Nate, this place is absolutely bumping right now.
And they get the ball back coming down. What kind of play are you going to draw it up? Down 1, 37 seconds left.
The Hornets bring a lot of pressure. Robertson sticks with Lish as she brings it up, gets it across the timeline. Ends up with Bustle on the wing. Bulldogs trail by 1. Lish will pull it again from the wing. Too weak off the front iron, but rebounded by Ix. Back to Bustle. Her three-pointer from the wing won't go. Rebounded by Robertson. They're going to have to intentionally foul. It'll be Hannah Lish called for the foul. Believe that is her 4th. Man, Bulldogs certainly had their chance. Just couldn't capitalize.
Well, a decent look. I'm not really sure why you want to settle for the 3. I mean, you're shooting under 20% of the night and you're only down 1. You could try to go inside and get a bucket with either Ix or Babb. I know it's been tough with the 2 posts down there with Cook as well as Vanderstelt.
Robertson makes the first free throw. So there's 16.6 seconds on the clock. As the crowd here on the Maryland gets loud once again for the second attempt. Absolute butter from Robertson. Ice in her veins as she keeps it a 3-point lead for Kalamazoo. So we're going to step aside for just a moment, but a potential game-tying shot coming up after this. You're watching women's basketball here on Adrian College TV.
Adrian College is a pinpoint like no other. With our 77 undergraduate degrees, 47 majors, and 21 broad fields of study, Adrian has a one-of-a-kind, hands-on learning experience for everyone. Do you want to visit the campus of Adrian College in person? Visit adrian.edu/campus-visit. Again, that's adrian.edu/campus-visit. Come take in the beautiful facilities at Adrian College for yourself.
Welcome back inside the Mayor Ladd Sport and Fitness Center. Going back to that last offensive possession by the Bulldogs, I think they made the right decision going for the threes there, Nate?
I don't really think so. I mean, you're down only one. You have 30 seconds left. I think if you try to go inside for a quick two with either Ix or Bab, like we said, and I think if you do that, now you shoot 2 threes and you're not shooting very well on the night. You come back, now you're down 3. You'd like to say you have to go for the 3 now, but even I don't think so. If you go for a quick 2 down low, you can go and foul.
See, that is where we differ, my friend. I'm all about the 3 ball. I don't care that they're shooting 2 for 15 on the game. Those were some good looks. They just couldn't capitalize. So it's Ix, Lish, Bussell, Bab, and Schultz. Schultz on the inbound, gets into Bussell. 15 seconds left. Pretty much lost her chance at the threes. It's almost taken away. Bab comes away with it, goes up. No foul called, but she gets the bucket. And on the other end, we'll have Ryan Clark calling the timeout. We're going to keep it right here. And Nate, I don't know about you, but as we take another look at it, could have sworn there was contact against Bab, and oh my goodness.
Well, there's definitely contact, but I mean, she's straight up. It's kind of hard to tell. Bab was definitely engaging the contact going inside, but they have been calling that pretty much all night because it's been a very tight whistle. But I think it was just such an awkward shot and such a quick release. It was kind of hard for the refs to call that at that moment. And I think down the stretch, you really want to let the players play.
Yeah, I understand your perspective, but you said it. There's been a tight whistle the entire game. And when you have contact on a shot like that, in a game where the Bulldogs have shot 30 free throws, there's no whistle blown on that.
Well, coming out of here, Bulldogs are going to have to foul right away. And you're down 1. You got to hope. You got to put it in the hands of the worst free throw shooter.
Yeah, so looking at who's on the floor right now.
Robertson, 42% on the year. She's the one you want down there, number 10 on the left block.
Robertson also made both her free throws when she was fouled last time. But you know they're going to Hogan, and Lish takes it away! Falls on it! Timeout called.
There's a foul called against Kalamazoo.
We're going to take another look at it. What a play by Hannah Lish. Swipes in an incredible defensive play.
Here's the aggressive we've been talking about. Lish off of the inbound pass, reads it, intercepts it. And then honestly, not sure how you call a foul on that because, I mean, just scrambled drill at that point. And now Lish at the line, 7 seconds, down 1. Lish for 2 shots.
Lish on the season, 56.3% from the line. Has 2 chances, just needs 1. From the line, Lish off the back iron.
And not to mention, that's also Ruby Hogan's 5th foul, so she's out.
So Hannah Lish looking to extend this one at least into overtime for now. Not a great free throw shooter, but needs one here. And she gets it! Hannah Lish with a clutch defensive play and did the bare minimum on the other end. We got a tie game, 56-56, 7.3 left on the clock. Don't go anywhere. You're watching women's basketball here on Adrian College TV.
Bulldog fans, remember to follow Adrian College TV on social media. For game highlights and campus events, you can catch it all on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and X at Adrian College TV. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel to catch all our future streams live and support your Bulldogs.
Welcome back inside the Marilas Sport and Fitness Center. What a sequence we just witnessed. Hannah Lish makes a huge defensive play to take it away, and then did the bare minimum, hit one of 2 free throws to tie things up. So looking at Kalamazoo now, they're going to have 7 seconds. Nate, what are you drawing up here?
Well, I think you got to go to your big girl, number 22, Lauren Vanderstilt. You got 7 seconds, so you can afford to get it in and kind of back your defender down in the paint and put up a good shot, maybe even draw a foul, put it in the ref's hands. They're going to take it on its near side. There's Vanderstilt on the top of the key, and then the rest of the 3 down low. I think some kind of screens, maybe get a mismatch.
Whatever you do here, you cannot foul. You can't just hand them a pair of free shots. So Moore on the inbound, dishes it into Robertson. Guarded by Lish, 5 seconds left, 3 seconds. Allen from the wing, her three-pointer won't go. And Nate, we got some bonus basketball. We are heading to overtime here. 56-56 your score after regulation. And I said we had a good one brewing, and we certainly do here. We're heading to overtime. You're watching women's basketball here on Adrian College TV.
This is the Arrington Bookstore at Adrian College, the place to get game day ready, represent your clubs and organizations, and be Bulldog proud. With a wide selection of merchandise and a smile at every visit, stop by inside the Kane Student Center to pick up your Adrian College wares and make it another great day to be a Bulldog.
Welcome back inside the Marilas Sport and Fitness Center as we get ready for some overtime basketball. Let me tell you what, Nate, I need a moment to catch my breath.
It's been exciting the last couple of minutes here. Back and forth, epic plays happening from both sides. A couple of key stretches for Kalamazoo to just kind of stay in this thing, and then Bulldogs coming down on the other end with Lish with a phenomenal defensive play to kind of pick that thing off.
Yeah, and a game that's just been so gritty, so grindy. Of course, it had to come down to a last-second play. So far, Hannah Lish, the hero. However, she's on the court, 4 fouls against her. So one minor mistake, and, well, the hero of the game so far could be heading out.
Yeah, well, for the other side, Ruby Hogan already has 5 fouls. She can't play.
And we saw what Kalamazoo's offense looked like without Hogan. And we'll get to see 5 more minutes of it here. It'll be Robertson up top, swings it over to Moore. Now to Cook on the wing, uses the screen from Moore. She's going to dish it back to her. Thought about the 3, decided against it, swings it over to Vanderstilt. Now to Dinda, she backs it up. Now to Cook, thought about the 3, nothing doing. Vanderstilt against Ix down low. Vanderstilt goes up, won't go. Rebounded by Babb. Navigates through, she'll push the tempo up the floor. Puts the head down. She'll drive in, but another big block by Lauren Vanderstilt. Just been all over the place in the paint.
I mean, it's just too easy for her. You got to initiate some kind of contact, a great separation. You can't just go up right next to her. She's taller than you. She's going to block it.
So it's Din down the wing, gives it over to Vanderstilt. Now to Moore, guarded by Bustle. Now to Robertson. Lish thought about jumping another lane, but with 4 fouls, decided against it. Robertson drives in, goes up, and they're going to call a foul on Hannah Lish. A devastating call. Nate, walk us through this one.
Just a tough call, the moving feet, but I don't really know how you call that one against Lish. I mean, a drive from Robertson. Lish gets caught a little out of position, and the refs call it tight.
Now give credit to Samaze Robertson. She sold it very well, but man, I'm trying to remove some bias here, but objectively, it did not look like there was enough contact on that drive to initiate a foul.
And certainly less contact than the bucket that Morgan Babb had on the other end.
So second shot from Robertson is up and good. We'll give credit to Robertson. Didn't come in as a good free throw shooter, but changing that narrative here. That one's deflected out of bounds. Almost a big play by Sophia Moore. Said the Bulldogs will stay with it. But she has made a now 4 just clutch free throws in this game. It's inbounded to Ix, now to Babb up top. Finds a cutting Schultz who goes up. Won't go, but she'll be head of the line for a pair of free throws.
Yeah, I got backdoor cut there off of Lish, and just coming around the opposite side. Take another look at it here. Beat it to the spot, and usually gets rewarded with the foul there going against Sophia Moore.
First shot from Schultz just makes its way over the rim and in. So now trailing by 1. Crucial for the Bulldogs to keep it at least tied, given their offensive struggles in this one, as Schultz does just that. Back to a tied game at 58-58, just under 4 minutes here in overtime. Runs it back with Robertson, now to Moore on the wing. Navigates through, Bulldogs back in the zone. Ends up Vanderstilt, now to Moore in the corner, surveying the floor, nothing doing. Moorhead bringing the pressure. It's Cook in the corner, swarmed by Ix. They get it to Vanderstilt. Ix comes in, ties it up. Jump ball called. We're going to be staying, and they're going to point the other way. It's going to be Bulldog basketball.
Really good play there by Aubrey Ix again. As soon as they do the entry pass inside, she runs the double and reaches in with 2 on the ball. And with that, you usually get a jump ball rather than a reach-in foul.
So Schultz brings it up, gets it across the timeline, now gives way to Moorhead. Moorhead up top, working against Robertson. Brings it over to the right wing. Now it's Schultz on the left wing. Bustle coming off the screen, nothing doing. Now to Ix on the wing. Entry pass to Ix, has positioning, goes up, won't go. Bustle fight for the rebound. It'll be Sophia Moore coming away with it. So under 3 to play. Robertson bringing things up for Kalamazoo. Cook didn't really set a screen. Roberts just runs in, kicks it out to Moore. Swarmed again by Ix. This time they're going to call it on the floor against Aubrey Ix.
That's going to be her 4th on the day. Aubrey Ix was sort of reaching in with 2 there, but must have caught too much of the wrist.
Sam Miller's got to watch it here. Sam Miller barking at the referee. He cannot afford a technical foul here. Finally, he's got to calm down. Now he's going to direct his anger at somebody else, and honestly, that's a good thing. Darby Linerth, going to be the unfortunate victim in that scenario there. Now he's going back to yelling at the referee. Sam Miller's got to get out of there, Nate.
Yeah, you can't take a technical foul this late in the game. 2 free throws are crucial.
I saw Angela Sikora tried to pull him away, but Sam Miller still is in the ear of the referee. He can't believe the call. Someone has got to come to get him. Now Wayne Perry gets up to try to grab him, but he sits down. As the free throw is off by Moore, so 1 for 2 at the line goes Moore. It'll be Babb bringing it up the other way. Linerth in the corner, gets a screen, kicks the Bustle. Now to Moorhead. Around the world to Schultz. Schultz up top to Bustle. Now to Moorhead. Bulldogs trying to find someone to provide the spark here. Moorhead, left hand, goes up. Gets the bucket.
And somehow Darby Linerth got her shoe taken off, so we'll have a stoppage in play. But this Moorhead here driving in. Finally good spin move and puts up a more in-controlled layup off of the finger roll there.
Yeah, we got to credit the tough shot-making ability of Moorhead, but in an overtime game, where 1 bucket is likely going to determine the outcome tonight, you just want your players taking the best shots they can. So it's Robertson bringing it up, the de facto point guard, after Hogan fouled out in the waning seconds of regulation. As they'll kick it over to Moore, back to Robertson, who has it up top. A good defender in Linerth on her. So it's Dinda on the wing. Robertson now, she'll try to drive in. Pull up Jay off the back iron. Rebound by Linerth. She's getting swarmed by Robertson, but she'll give way to Moorhead. Bulldogs get a stop. We'll see if they can extend their lead. 1:50 left to play. Calling for the screen from Babb, and she'll use it. Thought about the 3, decided against it. Drives in, puts on the brakes, looking for some help. She'll find it in the form of Schultz. Now Linerth on the wing, pass to Babb down low. She works in, spins through, but another big block by Vanderstilt. Shot clock winding down. They got to get something up. Moorhead with the grenade. Almost banks in, but rattles around. So an empty possession for the Dogs. Robertson has a lane going the other way. She puts it up for 2, and now the Hornets lead.
Just a quick loss of focus there coming back down the other way. Kalamazoo gets a quick bucket. Looking at about 3, maybe 4 possessions each left.
So Moorhead has it up top. Just about a minute left to play here in overtime. Comes off a pair of screens. Now the kick to Schultz. She'll take the 3. Won't go, but Babb there for the rebound. She'll go up. Won't go, but she'll be heading to the line for a pair.
Late whistle, but gets bailed out. Morgan Babb going down to the line. Take a look at it on the baseline cam there. Another straight up play, but must have came down, caught the elbow a little bit. Not much argument there from Cook.
Well, these players know that you can't risk getting teed up with a minute left in overtime as the first free throw goes short for Babb. So she'll need this one just to tie things up here. She'll take a moment to collect herself and take a breath. So Michaela Allen waiting to check in at the scorer's table. Second shot from Babb rattles, makes its way to the bottom, and we are tied once again with under a minute here in overtime. We'll see Allen check in in favor of Josie Cook.
Yeah, 3-point specialist more for Allen as opposed to the defensive player there in Cook.
See if they run a long-range play here or if they go to over-reliable Vandersilt down low. With Robertson on the wing, swings it around, ends up with Dinda. Now back to Robertson. Here's Allen. Lot of space, too much space from the wing. Unable to capitalize. It's off the iron. Bulldogs catch a break. They're going to have it going the other way.
We got a timeout here from Sam Miller. Quick check from his assistant coach, and he decides to take it.
Man, I can't believe the Bulldogs got away with that one. We saw Michaela Allen get subbed in, and you even pointed out, my friend, she's there for her three-point shooting, and, well, the Bulldogs left her about a country mile of space. But fortunately for them, just a little bit too strong and to the right. She clanks it off the iron.
Just a little bit of hitch in the shot. You know, when you're left so wide open, it can be like deceiving. And then instead of catching and going in rhythm, you catch, kind of pump, and then you see no one's there and you shoot it again. It can throw your mechanics off just that little much. And I think for Allen, probably going to get subbed out in favor of Cook, who's going to come in defensively. So you got Cook and obviously Vanderstelt down there. So it's going to be tough for the Bulldogs. If you're drawing something up, you don't have Lish in there for the three-point threat. No surprise on the last possession for the Bulldogs. Ava Schultz was the one that took the 3 from the top of the key. Not really her shot, but I think you got to go down low with either Babb or maybe they even brought Ix back in.
I mean, clearly the plan tonight was to force the ball inside. 36 free throws has been the result. It wouldn't surprise me if you saw more. So it'll be Bussell, Babb, Moorhead, Schultz. It'll be Leinerth inbounding it to one of them. 33.3 seconds, so the shot clock is still on. However, the Bulldogs may play for a super late shot here.
Yeah, you can take your time here.
They do not have a timeout. Kalamazoo does. Babb drives in, right hand, won't go. Rebounded by Vanderstilt. So in a tied game, it'll be the Kalamazoo College Hornets who will play for the last shot. 15 seconds on the clock. Robertson drives in, puts on the brakes, poked away for a moment. And then it'll be a timeout called by Ryan Clark. So while the teams talk it over, we're going to step aside for just a moment. We got a good one here. You're watching women's basketball here on AdrianCollegeTV.
Hi, I'm Aubrey Morgan, the current student government president here at Adrian College. I chose Adrian College because of the campus size. Campus feels like a fun, energetic community where everyone knows each other. If you want to see what Adrian has to offer for you, you can schedule an in-person visit at adrian.edu/campus-visit.
Welcome back inside the Marilat Sport and Fitness Center. 61-61 your score here with about 15 seconds left in the fourth. I asked you this once already. What's Kalamazoo drawing up here?
Well, with 10 seconds left, I think they've just worked it around too much around the outside of the arc there. You got Vanderstelt down low. Also might look for Michaela Allen again to take the shot. Well, she's not in, actually. It's going to be Cook instead. So you got two bigs down low, and if you got the out-of-bounds play, just a simple screen across and hope for a mismatch.
You know, in a game where we've had such an active whistle from the officials, wouldn't surprise me if we saw one of those bigs down low end up at the charity stripe. So 10.8 on the clock off the inbound, goes off the foot of Caitlin Griffin. So we'll redo that once again. However, Kalamazoo kind of tipped their hand on what they're doing here.
Yeah, I think they run the same thing.
Got to imagine they will. Just the Bulldogs have zero margin for error here. One light touch of the forearm will put a Hornet on the line. So on the inbound, it's poked away for a moment. They're going to still say Hornet basketball. That time it was Moorhead who got in there to poke it away.
They really got to change things up here. They're not getting much going, much separation. You kind of screen up, and then they all just get clogged into the paint.
Looking for someone to get it to. And they're going to call a 5-second violation. We're going the other way.
Wow, that was a quick 5 seconds. I know it's the third time in a row that they've been going.
I don't know if I agree with the call.
I watched it back on our little feed here, and it was 5. I mean, it might have been a little quick count, but they did have it at the end of the 5 seconds.
So we have a pair of officials here, center of the court, talking to each other. Not sure about what. I mean, you can't overturn that. Now one's making his way to the scorer's table. There's no way they can overturn that,
no,
right?
I think they're just double checking the time here and see if anything went off, because they did inbound the ball as soon as it happened, so looks like they put .4 back on.
So we just talked about the Bulldogs who had no margin for error, and now it's Kalamazoo. So 8 seconds left. Moorhead brings it up, guarded by Robertson. She'll drive in, poked away for a moment. They're going to say off of Moorhead. It'll be Kalamazoo basketball. They'll have 2.7 to go the length of the court.
Well, you got probably a catch, dribble, and a shot from maybe about mid-court if you're lucky.
Bulldogs just got to make sure they let no one leak behind them. You'll see Babb and Schultz start to retreat. We're likely going to see a half-court heave. So the officials are going to call a timeout here. I think they're just looking at the clock here. So while they do that, we're going to step aside for just a second. 2.7 seconds remaining in a tied game here on Adrian College TV.
Ready to elevate your game? At Adrian College, our athletes strive for excellence on and off the field. Get involved in over 50 student clubs and organizations where your passions meet purpose. With innovative programs and personalized learning, our academics are designed to ignite your future. Experience vibrant student life, where community and connection shape your college journey. Adrian College, where you belong. Apply today and become part of the Bulldog family.
Welcome back inside the Marilas Sport and Fitness Center. Looks like the referees have largely figured things out here, just explaining it to both sides here as they huddle up, trying to figure out, well, for Adrian, it's how do we get this game to overtime, and well, for Ryan Clark and Kalamazoo, it's Well, what miracle can we draw up here to just end this thing right here?
Well, taking it out in the far corner on the opposite side, so you probably catch it at the free throw line, dribble, and chuck it from about half court.
So again, it's mostly going to take a minor miracle for Kalamazoo to win it right here. So it'll be Robertson on the inbound, gets it across half court, dribbles around, but never even gets close to getting a shot up. So that's going to do it for our first period of overtime. We are going to be heading to a second overtime. Don't go anywhere. You're watching women's basketball here on Adrian College TV.
Adrian College is shaping the future of higher education and leading the way in innovation and excellence. Ranked first in most innovative schools and second in best value in undergraduate teaching in the Midwest by U.S. News and World Report, Adrian College is recognized for its commitment to innovation, quality education, and affordability. Offering 71 undergraduate programs, 13 graduate programs, and a 1-to-15 faculty-to-student ratio, our students receive personalized attention and a cutting-edge education. With state-of-the-art facilities, 10 academic institutes, and 50 competitive sports teams, Adrian fosters growth both inside and outside the classroom. From small class sizes to championship-level athletics, we provide the tools and experiences you need to succeed. Join a community that prioritizes your success. Start your journey with us, where your potential is realized. Discover Adrian College.
Welcome back inside the Maryland Sport and Fitness Center, getting ready for our second period of overtime here. 61-61 your score after 45 minutes. So throw another 5 on the clock as well. Both teams now have a chance to get some early momentum. So we'll have another tip-off. Now it's been Vanderstelt who's won both of the tip-offs so far. Of course, the opening one and then the opening tip of overtime. So it'll be Babb against Vanderstelt.
I'll take Vanderstelt to win it, but Bulldogs to get the ball.
Off the tip, it is knocked around, ends up in the hands of Robertson. She'll drive in, go up, won't go, fight for the rebound, and it's Leinert with another tough rebound. She's had a quiet but a certain impact on this one. So Schultz will drive in now, puts on the brakes, pivots around a bit, looking for help. She'll find Bustle from the wing. Her three-pointer, nylon!
That's a huge three-pointer for the Bulldogs right out of the break. Only, their third made one of the night?
Yeah, who else but Sophia Bustle, team leader in three-point percentage. Getting more minutes as the year's gone on, making her mark. Oh, and stamping her name onto this one. As it's Moore who swings it to Vanderstelt. Now to Robertson again. In on the wing, slows it up, now to Robertson. Back to Moore. They're trying to get it down low, just cannot do it. Bulldogs not letting them. Deep three by Robertson, and she drills it.
That's just unfortunate for the Bulldogs. You make them pass it around the arc for 29.5 seconds, and they shoot a three and make it.
So back in the hands of Bustle. Now to Leinert, over to Moorhead, who has it up top. Both the bigs for the Bulldogs in the corners right now. Just the guards operating things here as it ends up with Schultz up top. Guarded by Moore. Kick to Leinert. Babb gonna pull the three from the wing. Rattles but won't go. Rebounded by Vanderstelt. It'll be Moore going the other way. And Ryan Clark been very vocal throughout this one. Continues to do it here in the second period of overtime. 64-64, 3:15 left to play. Moore has a good look from three, and she drills it.
I was going to say they got to get some kind of penetration, but a ball screen will do that, and you get a little open and then hit a three.
Here's Leinert, has a good look from the wing, rolls around but won't go. Rebounded by Vanderstelt, and Schultz just took an elbow to the face, no whistle called. So Robertson will drive in, jump ball called, and we're going to be going the other way.
Bulldogs need a bucket here, down three, less than 3 minutes left. This is the Bustle three-pointer, the slight step back in her stance, and then right back at you. Last second shot from Robertson.
The Bulldogs trail by 3. 2:45 left to play. Moorhead has up top, dishes it to Babb. Out of bustle outside. She'll try to drive in, puts on the brakes, kick to Schultz. She'll take the three from the corner, rattles but won't go. Rebounded by Robertson. After that rebound, that's going to put Robertson in a double-double. 15 points, 10 rebounds. Took a couple periods of overtime to do so, but she gets there in the end. But this time it's knocked away, and they're saying this is off of Moorhead.
I have no idea how you can call that. I mean, that seemed about as clean as day. Moorhead wasn't even on the side of the ball that it was on.
I don't know. We're going to take another look at it. And, yeah, I mean, the ball went off of the hand of Robertson at the end. You got to think they're going to take another look at this. And, indeed, they are. So when we come back from break, this call should be reversed. 2:17 left to play. You're watching women's basketball here on Adrian College TV.
If there was one word I was going to use to describe the communication arts program at Adrian College, it would be unique. Students find themselves on the radio, in front of and behind the camera, and directing their own programs. Students learn in a personalized environment that sets them up for a world of opportunities. Are you ready for your moment in the limelight? Learn more about the Rush Communications Center and Adrian College's communications program by visiting adrian.edu today.
Welcome back inside the Maryland Sport and Fitness Center. See Sam Miller in the huddle there. He's getting his team ready for their offensive possession. You saw in the replays, that pass went off the hands of Smaze Robertson. The officials are still gathered around the scores table. I'm not sure exactly why it's taken this long. You saw the ball clearly deflect off the hand of Robertson.
Well, they're technically going to have to overturn the call, so you got to be 100% sure. I'm saying, you know, is there any kind of evidence where we cannot overturn it?
Now, I'll tell you what, Nate, I may be a broadcasting major, not a physics major, but to my understanding of physics, it would be pretty difficult for a ball to deflect the opposite direction at which you apply force to it.
That's some high ball knowledge right there.
So we're still standing around waiting. The official's talking about it. I mean, you saw the facial expression of Moorhead right away. She knew that ball did not, in fact, go off of her. So now we'll see a pair of officials split off, talk to each side. And, yep, Bulldogs get the good news. They know it's their basketball. So with 2:17 left to play, the Bulldogs will inbound it. However, in a game where three-point shooting has been largely non-existent, 3 for 20 in the game, they trail by that number here. However, they don't have to go for the three. Still plenty of time to just get a couple twos in there. Maybe a trip to the free throw line. Ends up with Schultz outside, not a Moorhead. Gives it to a cutting Babb. She'll try to go baseline, goes against Cook. Won't go, gets her own miss. But gets it back, and she'll be heading to the line for two.
That's a good look there from Morgan and Babb. I like the lineup out here for the Bulldogs. You have a couple of different options. You have Bustle, could take the outside shot, and then Morgan Babb can obviously go inside. I think she likes to go baseline a little bit too much and often gets caught underneath the basket and then kind of jumps back towards half court and then kind of just puts it up high off the glass. Can get kind of tough angle on that one. Almost easier to block if you're the defender.
I'll tell you what, Lauren Vanderselt has been making the life of Morgan Babb about as difficult as you're going to find. Babb is 6 for 27 from the field in this one. That is 22%. That includes 4 missed three-pointers. However, she drills a couple clutch free throws here to bring the deficit down to 1. With Vanderstelt outside, play some catch with Robertson. They get it across the timeline. Bulldogs back in the zone. Robertson swings it around, this time with Moore. Moore navigates to the wing. Vanderstelt, a lot of space inside. She gives way. Pass inside to Vanderstelt as she's taken down from behind. But on the other end, it's Ava Schultz who got the worst of it. She's down in the court. So while they tend to her, we're going to step away for just a minute. You're watching women's basketball here on Adrian College TV. So in what has been one of the wildest games you'll ever see, here in second overtime, Ava Schultz looked like an ankle injury after Vanderstelt rolled over on her after Schultz committed the foul. It'll be Lauren Vanderstelt at the line trying to extend what is currently a 1-point Hornet lead. But not going to do it here. Too strong off the back iron. How about this for drama? Freshman Caitlin Griffin checks into the game. We've seen her a few times with very limited runs so far. She's expected to take on a pretty big role here down the stretch. Second shot from Vanderstelt. It's up and in. The Bulldogs will need to respond. They trail by 2. 1:35 left to play. This will be Moorhead commanding the offense ever since Lish fouled out in the first period of overtime. She used a screen from Babb to drive in, but nothing doing. But hits a cutting Griffin who fumbles the pass. Regains control, kick out to Bustle. Very young lineup right now for Bulldogs as Moorhead drives in, goes up. Late whistle comes in, but rightfully so. Moorhead will be heading the line for 2.
Again, that spin towards her left side. The dominant move there for Ashlyn Moorhead. Just try to get to a finger roll. Most times out of control, but this time she gets caught for the foul.
And you know, Moorhead, you know, she is the de facto point guard right now. Not much of a perimeter threat. However, in this game, she did drill a three-pointer very early on. But her game is more that drive and kick sort of action. She drills the second free throw. So the deficit's still at 1. 68-67 in favor of the Hornets. It'll be Samaze Robertson kicking it over to Vanderstelt. Ends up in the hands of Moore up top. Now to Dinda, navigates through. Bustle lack of hands, almost knocks it away. It's Robertson driving through. Now three-pointer drilled by Michaela Allen.
Really good shot there from Michaela Allen to drill it on the right wing 3. And that's going to force a timeout for Sam Miller.
Indeed, he is forced to call that timeout. His team now trails by 4. 48.7 seconds on the clock. We're going to take a break for just a moment, but don't go anywhere. You're watching women's basketball here on Adrian College TV.
Looking to become a future Bulldog and get recruited by Adrian College? Do you display characteristics of tenacity, drive, and determination? With over 50 teams on campus, there are plenty of opportunities to further both your athletic and academic career. For all recruiting inquiries, head to www.adrianbulldogs.com and click on the Recruit Me tab at the top right of your screen. Your future with the Bulldogs is closer than ever.
Welcome back inside the Maryland Sport and Fitness Center. Well, since we last spoke to one another, this place has gone pretty dead.
Yeah, pretty quiet here in the Bulldog crowd. I mean, you're down 4, 48 seconds left. Gonna need 2 buckets. And it's been pretty hard to buy a bucket that hasn't been at the free throw line. Have we hit 40 yet? 40 free throws?
Yes, Adrian has had 40 free throw attempts. They are 32 for 40. That's 80%. Even Kalamazoo, they're at 23 attempts. Normally you'd be like, yeah, it's a pretty good number, you know, a little bit more than average. Even get on the line a good amount. But how about Adrian? All about almost doubling their free throw output. However, it's Kalamazoo who's been the better team so far. They lead by 4 points. It'll be Adrian ball. How about Michaela Allen? Coming off the bench and subbed in and hitting an absolute back-breaking 3. Just took all of the life out of the crowd here.
Yeah, I mean, Allen hasn't played a whole lot today. Sitting at 20 minutes, but that's out of almost 50. And she's come in clutch, 2 for 4 from deep. And that's her only shots on the day. 6 points.
Yeah, we've seen 2 threes from the right wing and 2 threes from the left wing. So at least when these teams face up next year, they should have a scouting report on where Michaela Allen's going to be on the court. So the referee is discussing something, not exactly sure what.
And they're motioning him back to the bench, and we're going to go to the monitor again.
This has got to be a clock thing because the 3 from Allen, she was a good step and some change behind the three-point line. So I don't think there's any way they can argue that a foot was on the line there. while the officials take a look at this, we're going to step aside for just a moment here on Adrian College TV. And welcome back. Looks like we got things pretty much sorted out. Again, not exactly sure what they were looking at, but while we were at the break, Nate, now we noticed Aubrey X only had 4 fouls in the game, yet she has not touched the court here in the second overtime period.
Yeah, I'm very surprised at that. I mean, obviously, you're going to need her at some point, whether it be offensively or defensively. You know, she can make a couple of shots down low with her spin move, and then even to have the defensive presence, I know she might foul out, but it's the same as fouling out if you're not going to play her.
So it's Schultz up top, dishes it over to Moorhead. Bulldogs need a quick bucket here before they play the foul game. It's Babb down low. She'll take the short midi, won't go. Rebounded by Vanderstelt, and they'll have to foul. And now just running around. And a late foul there by Moorhead. Now, honestly, if the Bulldogs didn't foul there, they would have had a tough time getting it across the timeline.
Yeah, 26 on the shot clock right there, and just short of the free throw line. You hate to foul on purpose. You know, you always rather go for a steal, and then if you happen to foul them, well, then you do. Right, you're down 4. At the worst case scenario, it's a 2-possession game, but then it's 3-pointers, and we've only made 3 of those all game.
It's Robertson at the line. Not a good free throw shooter on the season, but has been good tonight. She misses the first one here. So it's 28.3. Bulldogs going to have to hurry and just find any decent shot they can get and all pray to whatever they believe in. Second shot from Robertson is in. That extends the lead up to 5. So it's Moorhead bringing things up. She's got to find a quick shot. She drives in, puts on the brakes, kick out. No, it's Babb who jumped in. Shot won't go, but she'll be heading to the line for a pair once again.
Well, you need to score with the clock stopped, and no better way to do that than why not some more free throws. That's a really good move there from Babb. Drawing the jump from Vanderstelt down low and then initiating the contact. That's what we should have been doing all day.
So from the charity stripe, Babb's first shot is up and in. That is her 6th make of the day on 9 attempts. Now, if you're Morgan Babb here, pretty clutch shot, and she drills it. You're going to see Caitlin Griffin checking in once again in favor of Schultz. We're going to have a timeout called here, this one being charged against Sam Miller. So while the teams talk it over, we're going to take a break, but don't go anywhere. You're watching women's basketball here on Adrian College TV.
The Adrian College Media Production House provides opportunities for students to learn and grow live on the airwaves, just like Matt Kibbe.
I've gotten a chance to create a relationship with coaches and teams and learn more from people instead of trying to teach myself something. Got an opportunity to expand my knowledge of sports, hone in on my skills as a broadcaster, and learn about equipment in different ways. You get more of a connection with professors as well.
Providing opportunities, growing leadership. The Adrian College Media Production House. Thanks for tuning in.
Welcome back inside the Merit Sport and Fitness Center. Well, just about every single person in this place getting a little restless, as I'm sure those of you at home are as well. 72-69 your score. Hornets lead it. It'll be Hornet basketball here after Morgan Babb nailed a couple free throws. So we're going to see another inbound here from the Hornets. Bulldogs have been pretty good at defending these today. If you remember in the waning seconds of regulation, that's where Hannah Lish made the big play to even get this game to overtime. Bulldogs going to need some more of that here.
Yeah, you're going to have to foul, but you'd rather go for a steal and then just end up fouling.
It'll be Griffin putting the pressure on as they get it into Robertson. She'll try to go baseline, goes up, rolls around, count it, and the foul, and that looks like the dagger.
Yeah, and one with the bucket and the foul. Really good mid-air adjustment from Robertson, who's put her name on this game. Done a really nice job there. Just a freshman again from Grand Rapids, Michigan.
Yeah, again, it was one of those situations where if the Bulldogs were to win, Hannah Lish is by far your MVP, but how about Samaze Robertson in this game? He's played 36 minutes. That's a big threes made. Still, though, 3-point deficit and a foul's called. Not sure who it's going to be going against, either Griffin or Moorhead. Looks like it's going against Moorhead. So we're going to have more free throws on the other end. Just one free throw here increases it up to a 2-possession game.
Yeah, Babb with the three. Vanderstelt to the line, 72% on the year. Just needs one to make it big, and there it is.
Vanderstelt makes the important one. Now we'll see Ryan Clark bring all his players back, not wanting Adrian to get a free bucket off a potential miss or an inbound here. Second shot is up and good. I want to go back to talking about Robertson. Just what a game from the freshman here as Babb's going to take a deep three as the clock expires. And that's going to do it here. But Robertson in 36-plus minutes in this one, 19 points, 10 rebounds, 2 assists. She was 6 for 7 from the charity stripe, 6 for 14 from the field. And what a performance by Kalamazoo today.
Yeah, I mean, they came out firing here. They earned this one. Came out, put a 10-point lead, 15-point lead early in the first quarter, and they kind of hit a cold stretch. They were jumping out and hit threes left and right. It started out 5 for 5. Then Bulldogs slowly came back and made it a game at halftime, and it was back and forth pretty much all the way down the stretch. I mean, we played 50 minutes here in this game. It was a great game for both sides, but yeah, Kalamazoo just a phenomenal job. Vanderstelt down low had 2 blocks. It seemed like she had more than that. No way she only had 2 blocks.
Oh, she had way more than she honestly might have been approaching double figures. I don't think she got there, but she was pushing it. I think she's at either 7 or 8.
Yeah, pretty much up there. And then obviously Ruby Hogan, 15 points, 5 for 10 from the field, all in 28 minutes. And she fouled out. I can't even remember. It was early in overtime, late in the regulation. It was late in regulation.
It was regulation, yes.
Yeah. No, to go the last 10 minutes of the game without your best top scorer in Hogan, it's just tremendous job there from the Hornets to just come out and to just do it. I mean, you got to have someone else do it, and Robertson was the one that came up.
Yeah, to me, Nate, this game was really all about effort. We mentioned early on it was Kalamazoo who got off that huge run up 15-4 just a few minutes into the game, and things really evened out after that, but it was Kalamazoo who's consistently making the second effort on defense, getting those offensive rebounds, and just creating the opportunities that the Bulldogs simply couldn't. And in a game this tightly, those are the things that matter, and, well, the Hornets did them far better today.
Yeah, it was a lot of effort there. By about the middle stages when you really noticed that it was them. Bulldogs did not have a lot of effort. They were giving up offensive rebounds left and right to Kalamazoo. They were not doing a good job of boxing out. And it was Kalamazoo's game plan to come into this one and really attack the offensive boards. Let's see what they finished with 9, but it seemed like a whole lot more than that because it was every other possession they're getting 1, if not 2 offensive boards. They have a second chance point, and it's really where the Bulldogs lacked.
Absolutely. So, well, the Bulldogs need to know what they need to work on heading into their next matchup. But that's going to do it from us here today. 77-72 your final. Kalamazoo College takes it. For Remington Gilniak, Nathan Linder, everyone else at ACTV, good night, everyone.